You each need 5,000 signatures to get on the ballot. If your team provides me with some petitions, I can help you achieve ballot access. There he goes. Now, why is he doing that? He knows they take away a half point. He plays small ball, hit and run, the bunt. I don't know if he's reached out to RFK Jr. You ought to hire him and get him on the ballot. That's what we want. The more of them on the ballot, the better chance of winning. Speaking of winning, Linda Kearns, who's been on the show, was kind enough to read the entire document. I had seen it and knew that I'd talk about it. And our buddy Wally Zimmerlong, another big-time attorney. And I want to know if you're encouraged today by this type of stuff. Can you see what you have to do to win here rather than just bloviating in Pennsylvania? So a federal court yesterday, a district court, overruled a lower court. And what they have said is that, yes, it's a federal law to determine who can vote. Let me put it to you that way. Okay? But the state, meaning the legislature, they set the rules for how you can vote. Now, this dispute was over what happens if you have a mail-in ballot and you don't date it or date it properly. Let me use it that way. This happened in 2020, and it could have been thousands of potential votes. Remember small ball. Remember, we have to win inch by inch. So Linda Kearns and Wally Zimmerlong both saying what this means is that in Pennsylvania, based on this, you can argue effectively that state law, meaning the legislature, is where we go. We're not going to nationalize the ballot. In other words, the Biden people are not going to tell us how you vote here. Now, Mark Levin went one step further. It's one of the proud moments. We got him on in 2020. I heard him talking to a state rep from Pennsylvania when I was driving home one day. We got him on the next day. And what this decision tells us is exactly what the great one said. The Pennsylvania legislature has to be ready to step up. Now, I know at this point, they wouldn't have control in the House, but they can do it in the Senate too. They have to step up and say, we make the rules, not the courts here. We determine how you can vote, meaning whether that vote counts or not. Now, the federal part of this is correct. It's put in so we can't be like in the South back in the day where people are discriminated against. All right, here's the kicker in this whole thing. Big decision. Thrilled about it. 855-839-1210. Kearns making the point to me. Are people getting it? That we are winning on these things, but this is what it takes. You just can't go around saying, show up on election day, too big to rig at some of these rallies. That's not going to win. This is where the game is. It's intense. It's nuts and bolts. It's fighting them in a Winston Churchill kind of way in every court, in every situation, in every polling place in Pennsylvania. That's what we have control over. Well, Dan, our buddy Al Schmidt, the clown who in 2020 was the Philadelphia City Commissioner, alleged Republican, voted in there to eyeball what was going on, to be the minority opinion, and instead became a traitor of the highest order. Guess what he did, Linda Kearns tells me. In this, our Secretary of State did not say, get out of here, to these plaintiffs who are complaining because they can't put a date on it. Yeah, that's even better. Instead, he filed a brief saying he opposed them on one motion, but didn't oppose it on the other. In other words, Al Schmidt thinks that federal law apparently should apply here rather than the state legislature. So here's what life is about as I see it. You got Al Schmidt sitting there. You got Josh Shapiro, and both of them are saying, no, you're not going to win Pennsylvania, Giordano. I don't care what you think or what you do.
Doesn't matter, Dom.
Right. And it doesn't matter to me. Bring them on. Does that make you wilt and get into a ball and then just want to whine after Election Day?
Grab them by the lapels and shake them.
That's
like
exactly
hell.
right. Or, I'm going to play you what Mark Levin said in 2020 when we got him on about what this legislature should have done then with this rogue Supreme Court, with this rogue Secretary of State who had to quit, with every apparatus in the world. I mean, Josh Shapiro saying, I got Homeland Security. I'm bringing in the federal government. We'll declare martial law if I have to. Well, that would be new, Josh, in Philadelphia. We're not going to let you and the Russians steal this one. That's right. Yeah, the Russians are going to be goose-stepping or whatever they do down Broad Street. There you go. That's going to be singing that national anthem. I see them over there now at the Bellevue Stratford, or what used to be the Bellevue Stratford.
All the miners.
Yeah, the miners. Here is Mark Levin laying it out. And this court case is kind of the ground for it. They're saying, finally, no, the legislature, they set the manner in which you can vote. If we're going to have mail-in balloting, you're going to have to do it properly. It is not a federal matter. We're not nationalizing it so they can say anybody can vote anytime they want under any circumstance. All right, here's what Mark Levin said when we got him on. What's the remedy? What's the Levin remedy?
Well, I'm a little concerned already because I read that the Republicans are bringing a lawsuit in federal court to challenge what the Supreme Court, which of course is a left-wing Democrat-controlled court, elected court in Pennsylvania, has done, which is to set the stage. They're trying for Biden victory in some of the things they're doing, as well as the governor and the executive branch. No matching signatures. What are they, insane? The Supreme Court has extended the dates, several days in which ballots can be received. They're just making up the laws as they go along to help Joe Biden and the Democrats. Now, the answer is right there in the federal Constitution. And these state representatives and state senators have an obligation under the federal Constitution to do their job. This is a federal election. Article 2, Section 1, Clause 2 of the Constitution. It's not even debatable. Quote, each state shall appoint in such manner as the legislature thereof may direct a number of electors equal to the whole number of senators.
Okay, there you go. There was the money there. Saying the electors are the legislature. They don't determine without federal scrutiny who is qualified to vote, but they determine if that vote is ultimately qualified by the manner in which you cast it. And that's what this court decision said. That's what happened here. This is a victory. Now, I know you're thinking, so what? They're still going to cheat us. Okay, roll up into a ball and just let them. This is exactly what they want. Got to build on these things. Got to go after every single part of it. Do they have the game? Do they have the ability to stop? I mean, look at what Presler's doing, for example. He is not only getting people to vote by mail, potentially for Trump, but he's getting Jill Stein and Cornel West qualified. I mean, come on. How much can one guy do? All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. So this is a victory. And it exposes Al Schmidt, again, the alleged Republican Secretary of State, on the side with the plaintiffs. He's saying, look, I don't like what the legislature specified, that you have to date this properly within the regs. Yeah, so we're going to challenge that. That's what this guy did. He's in on it big time. He gives them the fig leaf of saying it's bipartisan. He's a Republican. All right, one other quick thing coming up. Want to have a whole segment on this. Yesterday, and we've been trying to get this guy on, Coleman Hughes was on The View. And I've never seen a guy not wilt under fire. We'll play it coming up. He's an African-American author. And he was very impressive in wanting to debate the whole issue of race on an elevated level. All the ladies on The View, particularly lawyer Sunny Hostin, can say you're just a tool of conservatives. You're a pawn of the right. Yeah, this guy was impressive. I really want to get him on. One other quick thing, and this is state government at its worst. I blame Republicans for this one. We still have the LCB. We still have this nonsense system. So I'm looking at a piece today that says Pennsylvania board faces backlash for issuing COVID fines in 2024. What they're doing is this. They may have fined people. We had a guy on with the Lansdale bar, you may remember, in 2020-ish, who they said we're not following the law. Remember how repressive that was? People couldn't survive. What they're doing now, when you come up for a renewal, they're making it harder, or they're adding all kinds of strictures and fees to get back at you for what happened before.
Oh, you don't comply, we're going to, take it out on you.
And we're going to do it now. Here's one, might be worthy we even get her on, from State Senator Hill, who I think we've had on. She said they went after one bar because a band was playing a fundraiser at a fire company, and the tavern was good enough, Dan, to allow them to plug into the electricity supply. Phillips Hill said, not serving underage minors, not serving alcohol after hours, but allowing a band at a fundraiser to plug into their electricity. They went after them for that. You're beneath contempt. I don't want to get wound up here. This whole rotten system, and I blame people, clowns like Tom Corbett when he was in office, had all the power in the world, couldn't get rid of this. Imagine going after a tavern, Goodwill, a band is playing a fundraiser, maybe for firefighters, something like that. They let them plug in, since they're right there, to the electricity to do that. And they're going after them for that. That happened years ago. You petty little creeps. That's what these people, and they're all making $150,000, $200,000. They meet once a month. The former head of city council is on the LCB now. They meet for a couple hours a month.
Got some audio from the LCB talking about some of these bar owners.
Oh, Paulie won't see him no more.
So the idea is people were trying to survive. They were doing a good turn. How in the world? Well, we can't have people thumbing their nose up at us. Well, we all are. Still fighting the COVID wars. That's what these people are about. You have the heart to defeat them. The big one's coming up, and every day that goes by, it ratchets up even more. All right, let me give you the side question, and then we'll play a little bit of this from The View yesterday. Jack Stolzheimer here at 1:15.
My name is Jack Stolzheimer, not Larry Krasner.
Running for Attorney General. I'll ask him on a number of fronts. I mean, we've had good words from people like Eamon Brown about him, Dan. We've had good words from the FOP guy we had on last week about Stolzheimer out in Delaware County. We weren't even talking about him, and he recommended him. I'll ask him a few things about election integrity, death penalty, and all that. Let's see what he says. He wants to be Attorney General. He would be better than Josh Shapiro.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'll ask him what he thinks is the big delay, Dan, since the Attorney General gets to appoint the prosecutor. Does he agree with that on the SEPTA matter that still hasn't been appointed to kind of do the work of Larry Krasner, since he won't do it? Side question, though, we swerved onto the wire yesterday, and we were kidding around about all-time great fictional characters. Now, there's got to be 100,000 of them or more. I want you to hit us today with your all-time favorite fictional character. I'm going to take off the board Omar from The Wire, as I said yesterday, and just a little bit different. Lois Lane, I think, is a great character in the Superman situation. And Hamlet as a little pushback against Dan, since he won't read him. Told that to Roe last night. She said,
overrated.
Good, stick it to him. Yeah, Hamlet. Dan will probably say he's an overrated character. Hamlet.
He is overrated.
Yeah, okay.
I find a lot of my characters that are, fully layered, that I think are really drawn out good stories of, the backstory of a character. I think of Tony Soprano, number one, someone that is both layered. He's
Hmm.
very evil. There's one side of him, but then the other side of him going to the psychologist and seeing him with the family. I like seeing that in characters. Another one that comes to mind like that I think makes for an all-time great character because of the layers, like Tony Soprano, is Walter White of Breaking Bad.
Yeah, they're both anti-heroes of a sort. Yeah, Tony Soprano, I think, is more of a stretch. Walter White, I think, is an anti-hero.
They're not characters
without
I
doubt.
morally agree with in any way. It's
Right.
just ones that I really much enjoyed watching them develop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, hit us with that at the end of your call. This is a big win in this case, without a doubt. I got some great response from people yesterday about the newest iteration of our speaker series with a bar is what we
Yeah.
call it. And this happens with Rand Paul. Could he be more in the news on a daily basis? You know the book, Deception, the Great COVID Cover-Up. You want to be there when I save this. I'm going to clip this LCB going after a tavern because they let them use their electricity. This is still the era of COVID that we're in, and nobody has challenged it better than Rand Paul. We'll talk about presidential politics and whatever's in the news
Can't
at
wait
that
to hear
point.
you guys debate over TikTok.
That's
that's what I'm looking most
that's
forward
the top
to.
on my list.
Especially after a couple drinks.
Oh, more than a couple. That's
More
right.
than a couple
More
now.
than a
Yeah,
couple.
now we're
come
going-
on,
we're bringing
Rand.
up, yeah.
Go on, Rand. I think the bottle ought to be right up there at the table.
I don't think you'll find a looser time. Like, that's what I want to stress is I can't wait for this event, Don, because it's going to be a very loose, enjoyable event. And what you see most of the time is Rand Paul in a Senate hearing behind some kind of desk,
Yes,
laying
exactly.
into Anthony Fauci. This is him, maybe a couple drinks down the hatch.
I wonder if anybody's
loosened up.
I wonder if anybody's a good Fauci impersonator. I'd like to have that there if that's possible.
And what's great about our event is not only are they at great theaters, they're very intimate too. So you'll be close
Right.
by. You might be able to ask Rand a personal question. It's one of those
Oh.
events that you got to come out to. It's so much fun.
We'll be taking tons of questions, and I think you'll have a bourbon or something with us because it's a cash bar, beer, wine, and cocktails. That's the new twist. Get your tickets now, just 2 weeks away. Go to 1210wpht.com. You want to be there, the kickoff post-COVID. And we didn't arrange it this way, Dan, but isn't it ironic that the guy who has been the most pushing back on this is our first speaker series post the shutdown due to COVID.
Yeah, it's a great person to have here.
It all comes together. Get those tickets now, 1210wpht.com. Sam Bankman Fried, sentenced
SBF.
sentenced to 25 years in prison. That's not enough. But I'll tell you what I think about crypto. If you were crazy enough to follow Matt Damon, all-time dope. Remember those ads with Matt Damon? The future belongs to the courageous or whatever. I'm a dope.
You wouldn't follow Goodwill Hunting?
Get Bitcoin and crypto. We'll tell you what happened with that too. Coming up on Talk Radio 1210. Hi, this is Dom Giordano. We told you about it. It's here, our first ever Politics and Pints. It kicks off April 11th, the Zlock Performing Arts Center on the campus of Bucks County Community College. With who else? Dr. Rand Paul. The book, The Great COVID Cover-Up. This is speaker series with a bar. That's right, beer, wine, cocktails. Do not be shut out. What a night this will be. Tickets, 1210wpht.com. Go to 1210wpht.com.
Hey, here's a question. After you wear your clothes, you toss them in the washing machine, right? Nobody wants to wear dirty clothes. So how come you don't throw your shoes in the washing machine when they get dirty? I mean, come on. Your shoes are touching the filthy ground all day long. Gross. Well, with Skechers, you can. Because most Skechers are machine washable. That's right. Skechers are specially made so you can toss them right in the washing machine and keep them clean and looking new. And when they look new, you can confidently wear them longer. That's less shoes you're going to want to throw away, which means less waste. And it'll save you tons of dough. I love that. Plus, machine washable Skechers are for the whole family, men, women, and kids. So when your kids get their shoes dirty, and we know they will, just wash them. Brilliant. And even our latest technology, new hands-free Skechers slip-ins are washable. You just step right in and go without bending down or even touching your shoes. So give your Skechers the same treatment you give your clothes. Just toss them in the washing machine and keep them looking brand spanking new. Find machine washable Skechers at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear happens to be sold.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at renofy.com/notices. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out.
John, I'm putting my foot down. We can't put off renovating this house any longer. Our kitchen is so small. We need to finish the basement for the kids, and don't even get me started on the bathrooms.
Honey, renovating is so expensive. We can't do all those projects.
With Renify, we can.
What's Renofy?
Renify loans are a new type of home equity loan only for homeowners doing renovations. We can get up to $500,000 and keep our existing low mortgage rate locked in.
With Renofy, we can do everything on our renovation list and we don't have to refinance?
That's right. Renify loans are the only home equity loan that use the after renovation value.
Just what we need. How do we get started with Renify?
Just send them a text.
Text BASEMENT to 323232 and see if you qualify for up to $500,000 to renovate your home with Renify. Unlock the future value of your home right now to get the money you need without refinancing. Text the word BASEMENT to 323232 to get started today. Text BASEMENT to 323232.
NMLS number 1802847. Not all borrowers or properties qualify. Loan terms apply.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 1039 FM.
The fight over Pennsylvania mail-in ballots could be headed for the Supreme Court. A federal appeals court rules that ballots without a handwritten date on the outer envelope should not be counted. The bodies of 2 construction workers have been recovered, and the search continues for 4 others killed in the Key Bridge collapse in Baltimore.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
All right, Dr. Giordano, welcome in. So this young African-American author, Coleman Hughes, he is a bit of a wild card, and The View couldn't handle it yesterday. If I had to summarize it, he's on talking about his book and talking about, sure, we all see race, but it doesn't mean we ought to act in any way, shape, or form based on race. He was making a nuanced point about being colorblind in a way they certainly did not get. And they immediately, including the dopiest one, the most annoying one, the most hateful, Sonny Hostin, whose ancestor, she's the one that told us, owned slaves. Continually, rather than engaging this guy, because it would have been impossible for her and the whole collective wisdom of The View, such as it is, they repeatedly just said, well, you're a pawn of the right. And again, Alan West, I've been around more than anybody who's conservative, major figure, African-American, never seems to have to, they don't dare with him. Clarence Thomas, because he can't say anything in Supreme Court, et cetera, and a whole bevy of people who are conservatives and African-American, Tim Scott. They have to deal with this repeatedly. They got nothing else. They don't want to engage on the issue. It's that you are obviously deceitful if you're African-American and relatively conservative. And yet, when you look on any number of issues, how conservative African-American voters are, that doesn't mean they're necessarily going to vote for a Republican per se. It's obvious that The View is the one that's out of step. So here's part one. Things get kind of tense. Yeah. Soon as Sonny Hostin, I'm a lawyer.
She's a lawyer.
Gets engaged with Coleman Hughes.
I think the premise is fundamentally flawed. You claim that color blindness was the goal of the civil rights movement, based upon Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech, content of character versus the color of skin. Bernice, Dr. King's daughter, points out that 4 years after giving that speech, actually, Dr. King also said this: a society that has done something special against the Negro for hundreds of years must now do something special for Negroes. He also said in 1968, it was about less than a week before he was assassinated, this country never stops to realize that they owe a people kept in slavery for 244 years. So rather than class, he did write about that earlier on. Right before his death, he made the argument for racial equality and racial reparations. And so your argument for color blindness, I think, is something that the right has co-opted. And so many in the Black community, if I'm being honest with you, because I want to be, believe that you are being used as a pawn by the right. and that you're a charlatan of sorts.
He's not a Republican.
So how do you?
He's
how-
never voted for a Republican.
you said that you're a conservative.
No,
No, you did. You actually said that.
Oh my God, a conservative.
2 weeks ago.
I said I was a conservative.
Yes, you did. So, but my question to you is, how do you respond to those critics?
Okay, let's give him answer.
First thing I want to.
First of all, you're an opinion maker. You can say, I think you're a charlatan. You're not a reporter. You don't have to say, how do you respond to those people who say that? You're saying it, lady. Why are you trying to hide behind those people? Now, if you're a reporter, that could be what you have to do. You can't say, I think you're a charlatan. You're not a reporter. You're not a lawyer either. You're a dope. Here's part two. Here's his response.
I think it's very important. The quote that you just pointed out about doing something special for the Negro. That's from the book Why We Can't Wait that I just mentioned.
Yes.
A couple paragraphs later, he lays out exactly what that something special was.
Yes.
And it was the Bill of Rights for the Disadvantaged, a broad class-based
But
policy.
he also says you must include race.
No, he didn't. He says it's
Yes, he does.
Okay, well, everyone should go read the book Why We Can't Wait. Let's not get sidetracked by that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've been co-opted by anyone. I've only voted twice, both for Democrats. Although I'm an independent, I would vote for a Republican, probably a non-Trump Republican if they were compelling. I don't think there's any evidence I've been co-opted by anyone, and I think that's an ad hominem tactic people use to not address really the important conversations we're having here. And I think it's better, and it would be better for everyone if we stuck to the topics rather than make it about me with no evidence that I've been co-opted.
I want to give you the opportunity to respond to
I appreciate
the criticism.
I appreciate it. There's no evidence that I've been co-opted by anyone.
Exactly.
I have an independent podcast. I work for CNN as an analyst. I write for the Free Press. I'm independent in all of these endeavors, and no one is paying me to say what I'm saying. I'm saying it because I feel it.
Do you?
Okay, hold on. We're taking a.
All right. 855-839-1210. It is endless here. What King talked about, he's exactly right, was a class thing, not a race thing. And he went through in a very nuanced way, Dan, the little bits that I watched, talking in terms of course, you can't ignore color. We all see it. We're all aware of it. That's not what colorblind means. You know, I'm not sure if he wanted to get into and say, okay, how many years have we had affirmative action and other things like it? Are they not payments toward this? And also, Sonny, since you're talking about reparations, how much, who gets it? How do you determine that? Which, as she knows, is a loser. Not going to happen. People are not going to sign off in significant numbers on that. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. You get a line. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, you push pound 1210. One big thing to watch tonight, and the White House is being pressed on this a bit. Boy, what a circumstance. You have this officer killed in New York, Officer Diller, in an ambush. President Trump is going to the wake tonight for the cop in New York. It'll be a big public event, thousands of people. Joe Biden will be in New York tonight for that. Take your picture with Biden and Obama, and you have to pay $100,000. I mean, it is three presidents. It is rare. Well, two and an adult. But he will be there. He could easily go to that, given, they'll move heaven and earth to get him there. It's not that far away, apparently. But the White House is pressed on why he will not attend that week. No answer yet on that. He can't attend it because it's not his constituency. His constituency, the Democrat Party, they're anti-cop. They're anti-law and order. They're pro-Krasner. Many of them hate police. Many of them want to defund police. So showing up at a cop's wake, even though you could at least fake, well, I'm sure it would be good for the widow because you know what he would do. Beau Biden story right away. Beau Biden story, 5 minutes, and he's out of there. Dan, you had something?
Yeah, I just want to point out something. First of all, he's ditching this, wake event to go hang out with Kelly Kapoor from The Office and Stephen Colbert. But I don't know if you saw this, but one of the musical performances for the event coming up with the presidents, Lizzo I thought
Yes.
Lizzo was canceled, wasn't she?
Yeah, well, I thought Bill Clinton should be canceled given Epstein.
True.
I mean, he's the biggest of all that you would think he'd be canceled, but he's the third president. They couldn't get anybody else there. And Dr. Jill Biden, by the way, is doing the after party with that DJ.
I love the Guardian's coverage of the event. It says tickets start at $250, but top-ups include $100,000 for a picture with Biden, Obama, and Clinton, three men recently ranked by political scientists as the 14th, 7th, and 12th greatest presidents of all time.
Oh, my God.
In the same survey, Trump finished 45th and last.
Oh, my God. Joe Biden ranked anything, anywhere that has anything to do with anything. They're apparently going to bring in $25 million, which is an all-time record. That's is
big.
impressive. All right, so phone lines, 855-839-1210. Let me go to Jim in Wayne. Jim, you're on Talk Radio 1210. Afternoon, Jim.
Hello, Dom. Thanks for taking my call. It's a pleasure to be with you. Talking about the Democrat policy towards Black people in terms of what they think should be done. Since 1963, they have destroyed the Black middle class with the Great Society program. Prior to 63, the percentage of Black households with both parents living in the home was 70%. Today, it's 20%. So the Democrat Party has done nothing for the Black family.
Yeah, well, that's a known. The war on poverty, Lyndon Johnson does not get enough discredit for what he unleashed. Without a doubt, Jim. So to hear this type of thing, this continuation of this on The View, it's not working as much anymore. Trump is a different sort of character, and he's broken through. Jim, who's your fictional character?
Mr. Haney from Green Acres, the world's greatest traveling salesman with the greatest voice, and never got the credit deserved. That man should have gotten awards and accolades, and he should be on posters. I love Mr. Haney.
Right, that's outside the box. Good call. To start us off. Yeah, 855-839-1210. You can jump in. All-time fictional character in any way, shape, or form, because I said yesterday there's at least 10 in The Wire that are notable, but maybe everybody hasn't seen The Wire, so we broaden it to all-time fictional characters.
I like this argument from Marcus a little bit better than Mr. Haney from Green Acres. Marcus on Twitter writes in Spider-Man. He fights villains despite feelings of guilt, negative press from the Daily Bugle, and tons of personal problems, yet he still does it with a great sense of humor.
Yeah, much different. I mean, I don't know why. We've often said this. Why do you need this universe of superheroes? If you have Superman, what else do you need? But comic books needed other heroes for some reason.
Yeah.
And there we go. All right, 855-839-1210. That's how we'll get you on board here on Talk Radio 1210.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Spring cleaning is upon us, but there's one meaningful box that you don't throw away when cleaning out your closet. It's the box filled with your family's important videotapes, film reels, and photos. Hi, I'm Adam Baselogger.
And I'm Nick Mako. We started Legacy Box over a decade ago to help families organize and update their analog media to digital.
Legacy Box is simple and easy. It works and is safe. Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box.
And Legacy Box has been featured in Good Housekeeping, The Today Show, and Rachel Ray.
Legacy Box is like magic, converting your shoebox of memories to the cloud or thumb drive, ready to watch and share.
Declutter your closet by digitizing your media. Become more organized and accomplished, knowing your family's recorded past is safe forever. Take advantage of our spring cleaning sale going on now. It's the easiest task to check off your to-do list.
For a limited time, you can get started for just $9 a tape. Visit legacybox.com/value to get our $9 sale. That's legacybox.com/value to get our $9 offer. legacybox.com/value.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth. And if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Dawn here. Are you looking to improve the health of your lawn? Look no further. Natural Lawn of America has been creating green, lush lawns quickly, more naturally, and with fewer weeds for more than 35 years. Their certified specialists tailor their treatments to your lawn-specific needs, reducing the need for chemicals and creating a safer lawn for your entire family. Call today. Take advantage of Natural Lawn's limited time offer. Free seeding every year. 800-FREE-SEED or naturallawn.com. Greener grass, fewer weeds, guaranteed.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. Make lifetime memories with your family and friends when you book your stay at the beautiful Oceanfront Grand Hotel of Cape May, New Jersey. Book a June midweek package and save. Stay 3 nights, receive $60 a night in resort credits. Stay 5 nights, get $70 a night. Stay 7 nights and receive $80 a night. Use your resort credits on purchases in Hemingway's restaurant, the outdoor pool bar, beach concession, or in the gift shop. Book direct with them for the best rates. Call 800-257-8550 or visit them online at grandhotelcapemay.com.
Lose 20 to 40 plus pounds guaranteed with NJ Diet. NJ Diet uses DNA and blood work to help you lose weight and keep it off. Tune into their radio show Sundays at 2 or visit njdiet.com.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
An area of low pressure will continue to move off the East Coast today. Still some rain at times, especially south and east of Philadelphia with a high 52. For tonight, drying out, turning windy and colder with a low 38. And for Friday, plenty of sunshine and windy with a high 58.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world, protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, Tom Giordano Show. Welcome in. You know, seeing the crypto guy, SBF, sentenced to 25 years. Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary got taken apparently. And he tells Fox he expects his money back. I don't know how that's happening. And Dan, I'm not sure how to rule on this. I've seen conflicting reports. Yesterday, you told us, and you were going by New York Post and others, that Johnny Stewart apparently overvalued tremendously various things that he was selling. Then I saw a report that they were pranked by somebody. I choose to believe New York Post was right for talk radio's sake. What do you say?
Yeah, I'm going to choose it right. Yeah,
okay.
Let's hold complete judgment, I guess, until more
Right.
information comes out. But I am leaning towards it for talk radio's sake being true.
Okay. So John Stewart allegedly puffed up and sold properties, at inflated prices. I look at these things, and of course, Trump is in the middle of it with the case and the huge amount, the unconstitutional amount, I believe, that he was ultimately fined around that. And I don't want to say a society can't have fraud. Now, this guy, I remember this, Stan Windolf, got caught. One of the all-time evil people. Several people, though, did make the point. These people were pretty greedy. In other words, they really believed they were getting these unbelievable percentages They didn't want to check it out. They didn't want to do it. Now, I'm not excusing Madoff. I'm just saying that's the argument. So with the banks and Trump, for example, here's O'Leary talking about getting his money back.
Yeah. But what's stunning to me.
Yes, I had an account there.
Yeah, but what's stunning to me, I don't know how much you had there, is that you actually, he's going to go to jail, but your investment could actually be made whole. How is that possible?
Yes, it's a remarkable situation. The way you can see the value of these claims, and anybody that had an account probably filed in a claim because basically all the accounts were swept clean. There was nothing in it. But we had records of what was held there prior to the collapse of FTX. So each month over the last year, the hedge fund markets that fund these claims, in other words, I could sell my claim for 80 cents, 82 cents, 88 cents, 90 cents, et cetera, as we're getting closer. But because Bitcoin primarily and Ethereum have had such dramatic rises in value, many of these claims are going to be made close to whole or not better than whole, which is extraordinary. Remember, we were looking for 7 billion. It looks like it's been found. And there is precedence to this. Many of the claimants in the Madoff case were made close to whole. It looks like that's going to happen here in the FTX case as well.
Wow. So Ethereum, I think it's up like 5 times in a year. The ETF or Bitcoin, that's at least doubled, if not more than that. But the people that were involved in this, not just yourself, but he was giving money to Joe Biden and
all right, yeah,
so
we can stop there, Dan. Bottom line is, this guy's a scoundrel, etc. But I just think when you're dealing with Bitcoin and crypto, Dan, I don't know if you have any. You mainly have FanDuel money.
FanDuel has my money.
Yeah, exactly. So. But I'm never Bitcoin and crypto. You got to be kidding me to be dabbling in this. Just look at Matt Damon coming on, showing you the ancient Romans. Guys like this. I'm not saying he shouldn't go to jail. I think he should go to jail for life for the stuff that he's been involved in. But I don't have a lot of sympathy for some of these investors like O'Leary.
It's almost like people are hopeful that another Bitcoin kind of explosion happens.
Right.
I don't know if that will ever happen again. They're kind of like, it's almost like fear of missing out. They want to be on that, cutting edge in the next one. I remember when I was in college. It was like, I feel like 2009 or 2010-ish. Bitcoin was just becoming big, and I had an opportunity to buy it for really cheap, like cents, like 0.25. It was nuts. I bought beer instead, and I look back, I'm like, damn, I could have been 100 millionaire had I just instead bought this Bitcoin then. And I feel like a lot of people are out there trying to find that next, e-commerce type that will explode and they can be on the cutting edge of it. And Sam Bankman-Fried falsely sold that, idea to these investors.
Now you got to take some risk. My 401k, I calibrate it with a financial planner who's excellent and, some degree of risk. But this type of stuff, you're just rolling the dice. You got to know it is incredibly risky, which brings up the whole Trump social. I didn't check if we can update at some point today. The stock price, has it gone up, gone down from the first day? If people want to help President Trump vis-a-vis that, because that will give him the money if he does sell. But when he does sell, what's going to happen with that? And what is true social? You have to ask yourself, when you say to yourself, how does this thing have value? Then maybe you should reconsider it. Remember, we had the whole thing with GameStop. What was that, a couple of years ago? And then it was some movie company, movie theater company, AMC, I think it was. And it got up beyond belief, and people dumped it, and a lot of people got taken. So this guy going to jail for 25 years, I understand that, to put it mildly. As predicted, the Washington Post, Dan,
as of 12:43. Sorry, it's down
12:43,
7.25%.
Oh man, since Tuesday was that?
I think that's just today.
Oh, 7.25% down in one.
Since market open, yeah.
Oh my God! I mean, I watch it, Dan. You've seen me here. You just go to WSJ.com, and they have it right on the top head of how the markets are doing easily. I maybe check 15 or 20 times a day, but if I saw that, I would be getting a bit, that's a lot. So what drove it originally? The star power of it, wanting to help Trump. Let's see if that continues. By the way, the Washington Post, as we predicted, the very first day, is leading the charge now to say, how in the world, when we rebuild this bridge, they're already wanting other names, can Francis Scott Key's name be on there? Now, I'm not going to die on the hill for Francis Scott Key. But I remember, Dan, there was a problem with people about Walt Whitman on the bridge because he was gay. You know, I'm not a fan of Ben Franklin, but I think he deserves the bridge. You know, it fits. But
Let's
Betsy Ross, I mean,
Ben Franklin off the Philadelphia Bridge.
I don't know how Commodore Barry got a bridge. He's a hero. I agree with that. You know, but there has to be somebody else that we name.
Giordano Bridge?
Yes.
The Don Giordano Bridge. I like it.
Yeah, and apparently that bridge was hit in 1980, and nothing like this happened. So there's still a tremendous number of unanswered questions about this. One other point on it, too. Look, these guys were working hard. You got to commend that. But this usage of MSNBC to say, see, we need illegal immigrants here. We need people to do this work. Americans won't do it. I'm so sick and tired of hearing that. Guess what? Americans will do it if they get paid what the market says they should be paid. Why do you want to undercut the American worker? I know some people listening, though, Dan, say, no, you're wrong, meaning me. You have jobs people won't do no matter what you pay them. I don't believe that. I believe if the market's there, people will do the jobs. You got to pay them more. That's what it comes down to. You can't shortcut by hiring people that are here illegally. And they deserve respect. They were out there working a hard job in the middle of the night.
So question, I don't know if you can answer this. How do illegals end up working for the government? Is it like they contracted out to contractors and then the contractors...
And nobody checks on anything.
So essentially what they're doing is they're giving the lowest bid price and they're not background checking whether or not these contractors are hiring illegal work.
Or who knows if it's the lowest bid. You know, it's Baltimore. It's The Wire.
That's true.
God knows what they're doing. Yeah. So we're told now Americans will not do those jobs. And I'm saying, no, Americans will do those jobs. You have to pay them what the market is. You can't get around it by having people that are here illegally do the jobs. Phone lines are 855-839-1210. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, you just push pound 1210. And Dan, as each day goes by, coming up, I get more annoyed with this VP choice by RFK Jr. Hit us with that all-time fictional character. And it's all in the call. Let us know why. All next on Talk Radio 1210. Let's talk about one of my favorite things to tell you about. Italia. My favorite destination in the world, Italy. It's called the Grand Event. We told you about this before for great reasons. How about Rome, Tuscany, Florence, Orvieto, Siena, Venice, Milan, and that beautiful northern Italian lakes region. 12 big days of touring, the kind of dining events that my tour company, Conservative Tours, is famous for in Italy. 5371, that includes your airfare, the Colosseum, the Vatican, Trevi Fountain, Piazza Navona. Fully escorted by my friends, a Conservative Tours team in Italy, Lorenzo, Romina, his sister, Giuseppe. All this, just call them, 888-733-9494. Or the website, conservativetours.com. Think about it. Tuscany beckons. Florence, the history, the beauty. San Gimignano, bustling Siena, then on to the grand finale, Venice, Milan. The pristine resort of Stresa on Lake Maggiore, Bellagio too. All this fall in Italia. Go to conservativetours.com.
Push us over the top.
Thank you.
God bless you and thank you for your support of the Travis Manning Foundation.
Your response was overwhelming.
God bless you and God bless America. Thank you.
Your donations will help veterans and families of the fallen and inspire our next generation of leaders. You can still text to donate. Text TMF to 36413. Thanks to our sponsors. Window Nation, for all your window and door needs. WindowNation.com. Anderson Mechanical Corporation. Schedule your spring AC tune-up now. Visit AMContheweb.com. And the Grand Hotel of Cape May, New Jersey's premier full-service resort, conference center, and beach destination wedding venue. GrandHotelCapeMay.com.
Hypertrophic cardiomyopathy is a serious heart condition. Some symptoms include being short of breath, feeling tired, or having dizziness or chest pain. My HCM impacted how I felt and what I could do. So I asked my cardiologist about treatment advances that gave me new options. That conversation was big for me. That's why I'm working with Bristol Myers Squibb to raise awareness about HCM and to help others like me. Talk to your cardiologist today and visit hcmrealtalk.com to learn more.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, an XC40 can be leased for as low as $459 and an XC90 lease for as low as $629. Interest rates are as low as 4%. Along with Volvo-sponsored incentives, the Cherry Hill Volvo offers are very aggressive. When purchasing or leasing a new Cherry Hill Volvo, special additional incentives will be given. Spring into Cherry Hill Volvo now for these incredibly fabulous offers.
This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Do you know when the best time to buy investment properties is? It's now. It's always now. You just need to learn how to buy them correctly. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night and learn how to buy investment properties and make money every time. That's right. That's what we teach. We teach how to buy investment properties and make money every time. Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now. Take a class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Don't go through life ignorant about how to become a millionaire. Learn how to invest in real estate, the stock market, precious metals, and learn from an expert. At Investor Schooling, we teach these things and more. We only provide education, and we will teach you how to leverage real estate, how to leverage the stock market, and how to leverage precious metals to make more money than you've ever made before. Go to investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday. We will see you there, investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com.
Yo, Roy is Ford. We know your favorite station is 1210 WPHD.
Welcome to your Dano Show. Welcome in, everyone. 855-839-1210. You get a line. So 3 presidents tonight and Dr. Jill Biden, $25 million. I have to say, I'm going to call them as I see them. You know, that way you can trust this. But it is worrisome that the Biden people have opened up, I think it's 14 offices yesterday across the state, 14 campaign offices, in addition to everything else. They're coming here around the clock, it seems. And the Trump people still are not much in Pennsylvania. Now, I know you got all the court tie-ups and all that. But I am just not believing you're going to win the presidency unless we win Pennsylvania. And it's very doable. But we let off with that court case today. The upside, the court said, no, the legislature. They didn't even say, I think they dismissed it. We're not saying you need to have the date on a mail-in ballot, that's necessary. But if the legislature says it's necessary, it's not a civil rights violation. You got to do it. You cannot just say, well, we don't like that. We're not going to do it and supersede it and count the ballot. You're not going to do it. So that's a really good thing. What I'm saying is, do Republicans have the heart to do what needs to be done to win in Pennsylvania? And I got to tell her, the way I look at the world, doubtful at this point, slightly doubtful. You're not just going to wish it. You're not going to say, hey, just all show up on election day. Guy Shiraki did the most meaningful thing, and Linda Kearns, 2 great guests we've had on last week. Dan, when he said, if after mail-in balloting, we're down by 1.3 million as we go to the polls on election day, then pretty much over in Pennsylvania. If it's 1 million, 1,000,001, you got the catbird seat. Now go out there and win it. That's what it comes down to. Is everybody going to be in shock? Oh, my God, how did this happen? They cheated us. And that means there has to be a relentless voter integrity team and all these issues like this court case that I just mentioned. You have to be on them every second. But where I sit, I say this, even though, my antagonism toward Dan, who is our Josh Shapiro? Who has the ruthlessness to say, I'm going to win Pennsylvania on our side? I don't see it. Do you? Scott Presler, but he's not in charge,
I mean, there's one guy, but he's not. He's running for Senate. It's McCormick. I see it. I think they're going.
Yeah, in a knife fight over this, I'm taking Shapiro. I got to call it as I see it. Yeah, that's not ideology. Ideologically, I can't stomach it.
No,
yeah. No, he is saying I'm going to win Pennsylvania and I'm going to be president in 2028. That's what this is coming down to. Are we going to let him? That's what the stakes are. This is very, very personal and high level. All right, coming up, we'll take your calls. Side question today, all-time great fictional character. Hit us with that. Your name goes into the hat. And at 1:15, we're going to talk with candidate for Attorney General.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Jack Stolzheimer. I have a ton of, Dan, some of the questions I'm getting are brilliant around various gun issues and Attorney General. I want to know about the death penalty. I want to know about this prosecutor. I mean, he's not Attorney General yet, but if he's Attorney General, I want to know from Jack, well, who are you going to look at to be a prosecutor since the big deal was made, since Larry Krasner is not representing us as the chief agent of law and order in Philadelphia?
My name is Jack Stolzheimer, not Larry Krasner.
Oh, there we go. We settled that one a long time ago. We buried the hatchet. Look, to his credit, when a guy asks through back channels and all this like this to come on, we're supposed to say, no, you're not a conservative. That's not how we operate. All right, 855-839-1210.
You are in error. And what you should probably do is stop reading the Republican blogs and actually look at the facts.
I love the blogs pronunciation.
Can I just stress that tons of respect towards you, Jack, if you're listening.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's that's like 4 years ago. I was during COVID or pre-COVID, I think. Yeah, it was pre-COVID. You're the one that's being obnoxious.
Okay, all right, enough.
This is, I forget what turn you loose yesterday, and you kept on playing. It was something really weird. All right, 855-839-1210. Get in now.
The exclusive crash-proof retirement system not only protects your principal, but combats inflation, providing market-like returns credited as interest that cannot be taken away.
My name is Elsie White, and I've been with the crash-proof retirement system since 2018. The interest returns we get from crash-proof retirement are great because with inflation the way it is today, that's a big worry. Everything is so much more expensive. But with crash-proof, my money's secure. I've been earning between 4% and 6%. With the crash-proof retirement system, when we earn the interest, it is compounded onto our account. We never have a single fee. I am very grateful for their whole crash-proof retirement system. My money is safe. It's secure, and it's growing.
Register for our next event at Springfield Country Club on April 16th, 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Steamfitters Local Union 420 is a proud 120-year-old labor organization. We have been providing the petrochemical, nuclear, and energy industry with the safest and most highly skilled steamfitters, welders, and HVAC service techs. Our members have been trained in all aspects of the petrochemical, nuclear, and energy industry so that our welding and rigging procedures exceed the industry standard. Contact Steamfitters Local Union 420 for all of your energy-related needs and visit our website for more information at lu420.com.
Catch all the hoops tourney action at McGurk's Pub and Grill. Fuel up on favorites like their ribeye cheesesteak or the firecracker nachos and wash it all down with a huge local craft beer selection, fresh squeezed crushed cocktails, and more. Plus, with tons of TVs, every seat at McGurk's is the best seat in the house. And during all tourney games, enjoy a $3.75 Miller Lite draft and bottle special. Don't miss out at McGurk's All Tournament Lawn in Fort Washington, Horsham, and Lineville. Online at McGurk'sPub.com.
This could be you celebrating as you run across the 50-yard line at Beaver Stadium. Gather your family and join Special Olympics Pennsylvania on Sunday, April 14th at the Paterno Family Beaver Stadium Run presented by Sheetz. Whether you choose to participate in the 5K or the Mountain Indy Health Family Fun Walk, every participant helps Special Olympics Pennsylvania provide free sports, health, and leadership programming to people with intellectual disabilities in your community. Visit stadiumrun.org to register or donate today.
This is Bill Hoffman, president of Hoffman's Exterminating. We've been protecting Delaware Valley homes and businesses from pests for 34 years, all while supporting our local community. We also support those who protect us, our veterans. Robert Rutherford, our Director of People and Culture, served 10 years in the U.S. Marine Corps. We at Hoffman's have made a commitment to hire veterans. Our veterans are valued, and the skills they learned in the military are transferable. Join the Hoffman's family and visit us at hoffmansexterminating.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
It is Dom time. Welcome in about 14 minutes or so. We'll talk with Delaware County DA Jack Stolzheimer, who's running to be the next Attorney General, a position of great power, and it also leads to being governor someday. A lot of people have gone from that. It's the second biggest, well, in some ways, you have prosecutorial power also, so it's a big deal. We'll see what he says as a Democrat on a number of big issues, and we welcome it. Haverford, I didn't look up how much it costs to go there, but my buddies, Haverford College, this past week, they've been having their Israel Apartheid, month. This is their Israel Apartheid month, and they held an event this week. Now, these are supposed to be the little kiddos paying $1 gazillion. They're all going to be part of the elite. They're all knowledgeable in everything, Dan. And they're putting out a blood libel against Jews particularly in Israel, that Israel used COVID, in other words, infected or tried to infect people with COVID as a tool for settler colonialism in Palestine. That's what's happening at Haverford College. Can you imagine this argument?
What?
Now, Mark Lamont Hill, who's a much in demand professor and a sparring adversary of me many times, it's always been great. Even though he has a home court advantage, I do it,
Is this one guy who was once making an economic point?
Yes.
Yeah.
About income inequality. And I said, I have a Focus outside. I believe that's your car right outside the window of Fox 29. They didn't cut to it, though. Like a cameraman should have gone to it.
When was this, though?
3 years ago or so.
Okay, you're still driving a Focus, though.
Yeah.
This like your third Focus now?
Oh, yeah, I love the Focus.
You love the Focus?
Oh, yeah, the Focus works.
Makes it easy to drive with 2 feet, right?
Yes, it's specially made for that. All right, so at Haverford, they're putting out, now what's Haverford going to do about this? The argument that the Israeli government, Jews in Israel, were using COVID to infect people and also then to move more settlers in what they claim is Palestinian areas. Thanks to our buddies over at the Delaware Valley Journal, Linda Stein and others, because you won't see this in the Philadelphia Inquirer. Why not Philadelphia Inquirer? They don't have 500 people working for them over there. Don't you like this story? Check it out. COVID introduced. Is there anything people on the left, particularly these idiots on college campuses, won't use COVID for? And I have a situation here, Dan. Where's it? Okay. This is the, let's see. Or maybe I don't have it here. Do you have the, yeah, here it is. Here's the president of the University of Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
During the university's honors convocation on this past Sunday, and we just got it. Now, look, I've given advice on this before, Dan. The people that were occupying City Hall, what were they called again? What was the group? The unwashed that were, out there doing that. They had a big name too. They started in New York and then he came here they were living there and they're filth, right?
Occupy.
The Occupy Philadelphia. And they would say, mic check. That's when they wanted to shout you down. They would yell, mic check. So I would pretend like I'm talking like that, and they'd all start screaming. Then I'd say a few more words. It went back and forth for like 10 minutes. You can mock them. They're screaming at the top of their lungs. They got very frustrated.
It's an old wrestling tactic.
Oh, yeah, it is. So, I knew at one point the police said, come on now, one cop said, yeah, you're making it hard on us, Tom. You know what's going to happen here, don't you? We don't want to deal with them either. But it was fun for like 5 minutes. He gets interrupted by the anti-Israel, anti-Semitic mob at the University of Virginia. He starts, Michigan. He starts off by talking about we really have to honor people who academically are superior. Then he's a coward, and he passes the ball off to some flunky. Danny could have done two things. Asked him to turn up the volume, continue to talk, and tell the campus police, every one of them standing up and shouting, take them out. If it takes all night, I'm here all night. I'm going to continue to talk. Now, I had to do this with Governor Corbett over at the Art Museum. This woman takes this poster out of her bra. I don't know how it didn't look like.
We will be underwater if we don't do something.
Oh, that too. Yeah. No, that's when they started screaming. And the cop that's the head of the civil affairs group, which I have no respect for, is the Philadelphia cops. I don't. I'm going to give each one of them a minute to make their point. And I say to him, are you insane? This is my event. There's 60 of them. We have a governor here. Well, they have a right to protest. They don't have a right to shout down the event. And I'm looking at Corbett. He's getting all red in the face. It was nuts. I'm going to give each one of them a minute. He's going to time it. We're going to be there for an hour for these morons. All right, listen to this with the University of Virginia Michigan.
You don't understand. Year that our most outstanding students have gathered in this extraordinary hall to be celebrated as the University of Michigan's leaders and best. It is a fitting venue to honor our achievements.
He stops talking.
Yeah, why?
Thank you very much. Thank you. I would like to in honor of our students, let's move to the remainder of the program. Thank you very much, everybody.
Let's move to the remainder of the program. He doesn't honor them. This guy's making $2 or $3 or $4 million a year probably as the president of the University of Michigan.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
For this guy?
Yes.
Grab the rocks, Mike. When the rock is time to talk, you don't say what the rock says. You don't see the rock coming out and saying, what? What? What?
There you go. Keep talking. Show them down and say you're doing this to honor these people and continue. Turn up the volume if you have to and tell them. Start taking them out of there. They will never do that. Dan, I don't know which mob's worse. It's maybe a tie. The Gaza mob or the gender fluid and all that nonsense mob. They're the competing mobs. I thought you had a comment there.
No, I was just going to say that the chant sounds very familiar.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, they didn't have quite the same poetic flow to it, though, as that woman did. My God. All right. Coming up, we are going to talk with Jack Stolzheimer, who's the DA out in Delaware County. He is also now a candidate in polling, maybe the leading on the Democrat side. How does he see the role as Attorney General, particularly a number of issues the Attorney General's big on? And we'll take your calls. By the way, don't forget our big event, Politics and Pints, when we were sitting around a couple months ago saying Speaker Series will be back. And somehow or another, with serendipity, we thought speaker series with a cash bar. Drinks, beer, wine, cocktails, all of them will be available. Dan, that we had to start finding venues that had a fully functioning bar, like the Zlock Performing Arts Center out in Bucks County. That's where we're going 2 weeks from today with Senator Rand Paul. His book, Deception, the Great COVID Cover-Up. But we're going to have fun with Dr. Rand Paul. I am already gearing up, Dan. I have at least 100 pages of opinions on TikTok.
Oh, do you?
I'm going to need some help from you, though. Feel free to be in the audience. Say,
oh, no, I'm turning around. You know, this is all you, Dom.
You're turning heel on this.
Yeah, I'm turning heel. I'm running the different direction. I am getting, Senator Paul, whatever bourbon he wants.
That's what, yes, Senator. I love what you did to Dom in that debate on TikTok.
Dom, but you have people paying $100,000 to go see 3 Democratic presidents lie to you.
Yes.
You know, just come out, see some truth with Rand Paul, Senator Paul, for a night. Right. I'm so psyched to hear what he has to say. Take us behind the scenes of. I want to know about the research that's gone into the questioning of Anthony Fauci, Dr. Fauci, and I want to know why we still are not getting answers that we deserve from coronavirus. Anytime there's a question, it seems like it's silenced.
I don't know if we have the capability. I'm going to ask Dan to play some of the highlights of the face-off with Dr. Fauci.
Oh, it's great.
And ask him at that moment in the bout, what were you thinking? Okay? You'll get all this, a great night together. I think some of the regulars, I know Fisherbein, Leslie's already there, and Johnny Z. I don't know if Joe Avexin and others, maybe the Earl of Tacony. You'll meet everybody. It's a club. It's a great outing. Tickets
so much fun.
Right now, 1210WPHT.com. Get your tickets now, 1210WPHT.com. Jack Stolzheimer next on Talk Radio 1210.
Are you tired of dealing with those old, inefficient windows in your house? Well, maybe it's time to go Guida. How about that drafty, beat-up-looking entry door you've painted over more times than you can count? Well, go Guida. Need added protection from the elements with a new storm door? Go Guida. And what about that sliding patio door or garage door you've been meaning to replace? Go Guida. Whatever your home improvement needs are, I suggest you go Guida with the great people at Guida Door and Window. To help you get your project started, Guida is offering 20% off all windows and doors while allowing you to start your project with no money down and up to 3 full years to pay it off interest-free. That's right. Receive 20% instant savings with the luxury of paying off your project interest-free for up to 36 months. Restrictions apply, offers for a limited time, so what are you waiting for? It's time you finally go Guida. Call today to schedule a free in-home estimate at 1-877-GO-GUIDA or visit them at GoGuida.com. That's go, GUIDA.com.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
The fight over Pennsylvania mail-in ballots could be headed for the Supreme Court. A federal appeals court rules that ballots without a handwritten date on the outer envelope should not be counted. The bodies of 2 construction workers have been recovered, and the search continues for 4 others killed in the Key Bridge collapse in Baltimore.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
Hi, everyone. Matt here from Emmons Roofing and Siding. There are a lot of companies out there that say they do roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Some good, some not so good. Be careful of those that say buy 2, get 2 free. Does that really make sense? Think about it. At Emmons, we don't offer gimmicks, just quality products installed by our experienced craftsmen. We do offer 12 months, same as cash financing, though. That's not a gimmick. That's because we know how tough it is for some people right now to get these projects done. If you need roofing, siding, or windows and doors, call us for a free estimate today at 856-885-6677 or visit us at callemmons.com.
At Infinity of Westchester, we believe in transparency, fairness, and above all, serving our customers with care. Whether you're looking for a brand new Infinity or a reliable pre-owned vehicle, we have something for everyone. This month, save up to $15,000 on select Infinity models. And that's not all. Every new Infinity purchase comes with 3 years free maintenance. So don't wait. Visit us in-store or online today at infinityofwestchester.com. Philly rides with us.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote.
Call 800-403-5569 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-403-5569. That's 800-403-5569. What do you have to lose? Call 800-403-5569. Again, 800-403-5569.
Hey, Paoli. We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
All right, Dom Giordano Show, big issues, big guest. And as I said, the Attorney General in Pennsylvania is a key spot, particularly around election time, not for this election with this race, but coming up. And also, well, just think of all the big things we've seen in the news statewide that have come through. Not only Josh Shapiro as Attorney General, but also Tom Corbett. Joining us is the DA out in Delaware County, who's one of the leading contenders on the Democrat side to be their nominee, and the next Attorney General, Jack Stolzheimer, back on the show. Jack, welcome back. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Tom. It's really a pleasure and an honor to be on with you.
Well, the FOP gave you quite an endorsement last week on the show, which is better than these formal endorsements. I don't know how we were talking about it. It was vis-a-vis Bob Casey and McCormick, and the FOP president out there in Delaware County, just on his own, swerved into talking about you and your relationship with the police.
Chris Eiserman is a great friend and been a fantastic leader of Lodge 27 out here in Delaware County. Really thoughtful law enforcement leader, as are so many of our police chiefs out here as well. It's been the honor of my lifetime for the last 4 years to get to work with these folks. And Dom, if you don't mind me saying this, one of the best people is retiring tomorrow. Chief Joe Daly of Springfield is going to retire after 55 years in law enforcement. And serving 2 tours of duty as a fighting Marine in Vietnam before that. So these are the kind of people I've gotten to work with. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine?
Well, I don't want that guy to retire. We got to get some incentives going. That's wisdom. 55 years of doing this, Jack. That is good stuff. So, Jack, on the let's put aside in the primary, the Democrat primary, but as a broader proposition, because if you are the nominee, of course, you want to win the general election. What's the key item to you as far as being an attorney general that impacts our listeners where you and I are in this area?
Yeah, so great question. And as you know, Dom, there's 2 issues that have been paramount for me as district attorney and will get. I'm the only prosecutor who has actually charged and convicted contractors from stealing from the workers and from the taxpayers in the construction industry. I did that in partnership with Josh Shapiro when he was Attorney General. I want to continue that work. But I've also, the proud work I've done in the city of Chester, it means the world to me as well. You and I have talked about this several times, but I brought a focused deterrent strategy to the violence in the city of Chester, the only city in Delaware County, in the place where Pennsylvania began. William Penn landed in Chester, not Philadelphia. For the last 4 years, by bringing the community and the police together around this strategy, we've reduced the number of shootings by 72%. The number of gun homicides are down by 68%. And I think we should be doing that work all across Pennsylvania. Every community has a gun violence problem, whether it's gun suicides or street crime. And I want to dig in and spend the rest of my public service career trying to save young people's lives.
Well, that is a very successful program. From the first time we've talked, you've talked about that, and it has worked almost miraculously. But let's talk about if you're the Attorney General, Jack, and I realize these things are up in the air, but there was a compromise made with the current governor and the legislature to appoint a special prosecutor for SEPTA, crimes on SEPTA or around SEPTA, as I understand it. And the Attorney General now still has not found a candidate. I realize there are restrictions, but what are your thoughts on that proposition as Attorney General? I think we need that, certainly. here in Philadelphia because we have somebody who is taking a different tack, the current DA. He could still prosecute if he chooses, but we would have a prosecutor because it's shocking what's going on SEPTA. It sometimes flows out into Upper Darby.
Absolutely does. And the special prosecutor legislation you're talking about, Act 40, would allow that special prosecutor to take cases in Delaware County as well, with my concurrence, which certainly I would be willing to collaborate with them on that initiative. Let me just say, there's a lot of misconceptions around Act 40. It's not the best bill ever passed by the legislature. I think we could all probably concede that, but it's done, I think, to try to save the SEPTA system, which is important to everyone in our region. SEPTA binds us all together, the city and the suburbs. And by the way, John, my dad was a SEPTA bus driver, so I spent most of my childhood riding on those buses and trolleys. So I know how important they are. We need more SEPTA transit police on the platforms, on the buses, on the trains, so that SEPTA operators can be safe and so the passengers can be safe as well. But if this is another tool in that toolbox, appointing a special prosecutor to take that caseload away from the DA's office and make sure those cases get the attention they need so they don't fall through the cracks, I would implement it. There are some restrictions in the legislation that makes it hard on who they can hire. It has to have somebody with a significant prosecutorial background but hasn't worked in the Philadelphia DA's office for a certain period of time. So I know that's one of the issues that's sort of holding up any appointment. But let's be realistic. We've got to figure out what we can do to get more SEPTA transit police and more resources to the system itself to keep it functioning for the economic health of our entire region.
Jack, let me give you an area where we might differ. I haven't, followed your race on the Democrat side that closely, other than that I know you and know your record here. And that is with the upcoming election, in my view, the mission statement with Governor Josh Shapiro sends off the vibe, and a lot of reasonable people who are conservative and concerned about this, that it's weaponizing Homeland Security and these others about protecting the right of everyone to vote, which we want to do. But I want to restore integrity in the system. And as Attorney General, someone in that position, by that I mean faith in the system. We don't want people to continue this back and forth that in Delaware County, you've had to navigate a lot of lawsuits, a lot of stuff out there. I'm not saying all of them are justified. But what are your thoughts on what an Attorney General should do in that realm?
Yeah, great question. So the Attorney General is both, in Pennsylvania, is both the Chief Law Enforcement Officer for the Commonwealth and the Chief Civil Officer. So has responsibilities to be the lawyer to walk into a courtroom and make an argument on behalf of the Commonwealth. And in this case, I think what the Attorney General needs to do is work with the Governor's office, work with the Secretary of the Commonwealth to make sure that we can properly defend the legitimacy of the 2024 election, which I have no doubt, by the way, from my experience in 2020, when I was district attorney in Delaware County and people were claiming, and they still have made these claims, as you know, that the entire national election was stolen in Delaware County, and that we looked the other way. And there's not a shred of evidence to support that. I've got my county detectives to knock down every single lead, and we finally found one person who illegally voted in the 2020 election in Delaware County, and that person admitted voting his dead mother for Donald Trump. So I think what people need to realize is our election system is really secure. You can maybe fraudulently vote one or two people, but you certainly can't win a national election illegitimately. But at the same time, we have to legitimately listen to people's concerns about what they see wrong with the process. And the election system with the early voting and the lack of counting those early votes until the election day, we've made the system so difficult for people to understand that I think it's becoming a lot of sort of misinformation.
Okay, Jack, a couple more areas I wanted to get to. One from a listener I'll get to in a moment, but mine, as a DA in Delaware County, and I don't follow it every day, but I'm broad strokes. Have you ever gone for the death penalty in a case? And as Attorney General, would you go for the death penalty? Or are there cases where the attorney general could go for the death penalty?
Sure. No, we've never asked for the death penalty in Delaware County during my tenure. It just hasn't been on the table. When Governor Shapiro announced that he was opposed to the death penalty, I supported him. And I also believe there could be an exception to a ban on the death penalty for certain crimes like killing police officers in the line of duty.
But Jack, let me ask you about that philosophically. So you said killing an officer in the line of duty. I'm a supporter of the death penalty because if you take a life under Pennsylvania law and we reach that level of first-degree murder, that life to me is as precious as a cop, or if it's a drug dealer or a big mouth bloviator like me. Everybody should get the death penalty in that case. Why the sense of not going for that? What is it that you're hesitant about when it comes to that?
So everybody who gets charged with a crime in Delaware County gets charged in my name. And what we've learned from the work of Project Innocence and some other organizations over the last decade or so is a lot of people have been sent to the death chamber, sometimes without the proper evidence, may have been actually innocent. I don't want that ever to happen on my watch. So I think it also sends a message as to who we are as a people. I think sending people to jail for the rest of their lives is a pretty strong statement. I don't think going through the process, and as Governor Rendell used to say, we don't actually have capital punishment in Pennsylvania. We spend gobs of money because we have all these appeals and nobody has been executed in generations. So I think we need the legislature to act, and I think that they should speak for all of us. I'll put my voice on the table, you put yours, and let's let the majority of people decide what to do. That's what our legislature is paid to do, is to make decisions like this. And that's where I stand, Dom.
I'm glad you answered that. I'll just tell you where I stand. The reform should be, if you're on trial for your life, and you and I would agree on this, I think, we have to spend more money. We have the top flight attorneys, whoever they are in Delaware County or Philadelphia, and you get the top flight investigator, DNA evidence, things of that nature. And Jack, if that's satisfied, then we are human, and I still would be for the death penalty, but I would put those two caveats in. And if those are not being done enough, I think that's part of your argument, then that's what we ought to reform. Parting question for you that's come up in the news, and hopefully Delaware County has not seen a spasm of this, because I think you would be on it, but the squatting nonsense that's going on here is astronomical, what's happening. Why is that, Jack? And in your role as DA now and possibly Attorney General, what could you do to help legitimate homeowners?
Yeah, it's terrible. We have had a couple incidents, not as bad as some other places, but it's such a dangerous situation when somebody calls an emergency and we have to scramble to come out there, not knowing what police officer we're walking into. We've made the job of being a police officer so dangerous in this country. God bless every single one who's willing to go out there and serve and protect our communities. And whatever we can do to prosecute the people who do that, whether they think it's funny or a joke, or whether they're doing it just to waste police resources, we've got to hold them accountable.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jack. You may have misheard me. I didn't mean swatting. I meant squatters. Squatting going on.
Oh, yeah. Well, homeless problem, Dom, has been around now for quite a while. And we don't have enough affordable housing in this country. It's a problem in Delaware County. It's a problem everywhere. We've got to get, again, the legislature and the governor, I know they've got a lot on their plate, but they have to start figuring out how we can get more affordable housing in this region so people won't be squatting and won't be living on our streets.
Okay, I meant taking over somebody's house. It's not theirs, Jack, but I got your point. Where do we go if if people want to know more about your campaign, about you? Where do they go?
jackforag.com. My campaign staff kept it as easy as possible, so I would remember it. And I deeply appreciate everybody taking a look. We got a great video on there and a lot about my record, and even some decent pictures of me, Dom. So
it's the hair. I always admire the hair. The hair's never out of place. I got to get whatever the ointments are being used there.
It's all natural, buddy. All natural.
Only your hairdresser knows for sure. Well, Jack.
That's right. And my wife.
Okay. Thank you, Jack. Thanks. Congratulations
Thanks,
in the run, and we'll talk soon. Thank you very much.
You got it, pal. Thanks, guys.
All right. Jack Stolzheimer there, Dan. All right. I thought I was pronouncing, the connection.
Yeah.
I think I wasn't
Two-way thing,
enamored
yeah.
with the squatting thing. I think something's going on other than people are homeless, of course. What's going on is progressivism
It's a
has
great answer
opened
on
this up.
swatting,
Yeah.
though.
You heard what he said on the death penalty. And look, I will always be in favor of the death penalty. I think Pennsylvania is. And these arguments, the Larry Krasner stuff and all that, I'm definitely on the other side and will be.
Well, I mean, we initially brought this guy on because we thought he was, the kind of guy similar to Krasner implementing hyper-progressive policies.
He's
and
not.
He's
no.
not. We've since
And
been...
in Chester, that's good stuff. I didn't ask, but down the next time, Dan, about, was Philadelphia talking with him about what they did in Chester? I think Philadelphia is going to try to do the similar things with the new police commissioner and Sherelle Parker. At least I hope so. But the problem is, the other party that has to buy in is not just the mayor, police commissioner, it's the DA. And the DA is not buying in. All right, give me your reaction to that. 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. Side question. Give us that all-time fictional character. That's what we'd like to know. I realize we've talked about this. There's got to be more pressure on this, though. They passed Act 40 to get a prosecutor in here. That would give a counterpoint to Larry Krasner. It might send a message that you are going to be prosecuted, whether Krasner wants to do it or not. President Trump is attending now the wake of the murdered New York City police officer, Diller. President Biden will be, you would think, Dan, when you think politically, they'd say to him, Joe, you got to go. I mean, politically, at least. He is going to be in New York today. I'm sure they'd make arrangements and all that. The president of the United States wants to see. You know what they may be afraid of, Dan? Suppose the family says, no, we don't want that guy there.
Yeah.
So I understand that. But President Trump is there. 855-839-1210. You get a line here on Talk Radio 1210. Let's talk FanDuel for a moment. Grand slams, no-hitters, and double plays are back. And there's no better place to get in on the Major League MLB action than FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can start the MLB season with $200 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. That's $200 you can use to bet on money lines, totals, strikeouts, homers, you name it, or combine your bets in a same-game parlay for a chance at an even bigger payout. All in an app that's safe, secure, super easy to use. I really like the FanDuel app for that reason. Visit FanDuel.com/DOM, D-O-M. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. You have to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Consumer Cellular, you get the same exact coverage as the largest carriers, but for up to half the cost. Same thing, up to half the cost. Up to half the cost for the same thing. 50% the money for 100% the same thing. I hope I'm making myself clear. Consumer Cellular. When freedom calls, we're here to answer. Call us at 1-888-FREEDOM.
Half the cost savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single-line 5GB data plan with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single-line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plan offered by T-Mobile and Verizon May 2023.
Do you feel like you're going through life clouded by doubt? Talk to California Psychics. Our trusted and accurate psychics are available 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Download the app or connect with us at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Right now, new customers get 80% off their first reading. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
With so much uncertainty in the world today, you may find yourself wondering, is now even the right time to retire?
So many people are waiting, and those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
Fortunately, Jim Cipriotti has been helping get people to, through, and beyond retirement for over 25 years. Each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Chronic pain, cancer, fatigue. Find out about the benefits of medical hydration therapy on Health Watch with Dr. Molly Fantasia every Sunday morning at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. Are you looking to improve the health of your lawn? Well, look no further. Natural Lawn of America has been creating green lawns quickly, more naturally, and with fewer weeds for over 35 years. Their certified specialists tailor their treatments to your lawn's specific needs, reducing the need for chemicals and creating a safer lawn for your family and pets. Call today. Take advantage of Natural Lawn's limited time offer, free seeding every year. Call 800-FREE-SEED or visit naturallawn.com. Natural Lawn of America, greener grass, fewer weeds, guaranteed.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
An area of low pressure will continue to move off the East Coast today. Still some rain at times, especially south and east of Philadelphia with a high 52. For tonight, drying out, turning windy and colder with a low 38. And for Friday, plenty of sunshine and windy with a high 58.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients. Today, Morgan & Morgan has more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, coming to your calls. One thing to throw into the mix, just while it's on my mind. I just saw today, Dan, is the day that you get the notice saying you're accepted or not to Ivy League school.
Hey,
I don't know about other
congrats to
colleges.
all the kids
Yes.
that are getting accepted. And
Yeah, and I've often thought, would I really deep down want to have gone to an Ivy League school?
Yeah,
come on. I don't know about that.
Oh, you would be telling that Cornell, Ivy League? Yeah.
Anyhow, though, and we'll talk about a little bit more, I got to see some evidence tomorrow. Remember the big Supreme Court decision because of the discrimination against Asian Americans, now essentially taking out affirmative action in the way that they were doing it. One of the greatest things imaginable. But are they playing a con game? Are they still going to admit people that based on the criteria they have, their only recommendation is race or gender or something that is not really quality? And all this fueled by their attacks on Asian Americans. I mean, would I care if a university had 50% of the freshman class say Penn and they were all Asian Americans? Why would I care? They're the best. Well, they're not. That's not diverse enough. What would happen if Penn had 50% Asian Americans? Maybe they'd be smarter based upon they're actually taking the highest quality people. Well, that's just testing. What criteria should we use again? Let me know. All right, let's go to, let's go to Chris Iserman, who was mentioned there by,
That's pretty cool.
FOP head out there in Delaware County. And Chris, welcome in. But I do have a question for you, and I'm sure you can take it. I know you give full support to Jack for Attorney General. Does that mean primary or does it mean overall to be Attorney General?
Overall, he's going to win the primary. He's going to go on and win the general election in November, we hope.
Okay, well, let me ask, Chris. Now, you've had a lot of working experience. He's done very good things in Chester. I knew that from the beginning. Why would he be superior to the Republicans? Because I don't know that he supports exactly what I support in law enforcement. You just heard him on the death penalty, for example.
Well, I got to tell you, Dave Sunday's a good candidate too. He's another strong law and order candidate. So I can't say anything bad about Dave. You know, I mean, he does good for his officers in York County, and I'm sure he'd be a good attorney general also.
Okay, but I mean, that's not a deal breaker for you, though? What you just heard him say about the death penalty? That's what I was asking.
No, it's not a deal breaker. I mean, look what happened with Mamiya. They sentence these people to death, and they sit on death row for years and years and years, and it just keeps bringing the families back to court. I mean, I'm for the death penalty. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes it's just too much on the families.
Okay, we differ on that, Chris. I am in favor of it every day in the week. Twice on Sunday will always be. Because,
I agree. I think anybody that shoots a police officer or, kills a police officer, they should be sentenced to death.
Well,
so,
Chris, not to beat this, I got to be clear, though, and I'm not being antagonistic because we love what you do. I'm in favor of it for anybody that is killed under state law, first-degree murder, whether it's a drug dealer, an esteemed cop, a nun, a big mouth like me, you're getting the death penalty.
And I agree with you.
Okay. Now, Chris, what else about Stolzheimer recommends him to you? We know that he has been much different. Now, Chris, you may have known him then. First time we had him on, Krasner had a campaign guy for Krasner working with him in his campaign. So we were shocked after that initial blow up how well he's done.
Yes. He's strong on law and order. He has an open door policy with us. You know, he when he first came into office, he implemented an officer-involved shooting policy. He sent it over to the FOP. We looked at it. He said, any changes that you guys need to make them. We'll recommend them. We'll see what they are. And he's been good for us. And I think the police in Delaware County really like him, and they think that he does a great job for us.
Yeah, exactly. And Chris, we know in Chester that should be replicated in more places. Chester really is not much going on that's good there as far as industry and jobs and all that. It's been tough, but this policy has worked. I think it would work anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, you got to hold people accountable for the crimes that they commit, and that's what he's doing down there. And he's got a good team with him that helps him accomplish that.
One other parting question, Chris, and thank you for bringing
Chris,
to
are you currently patrolling? Was that
Yeah, I hope so. Chris,
I'm out here in Fallcroft driving around right now listening to you.
Oh, good. If you nab somebody, well, put them on the show. But Chris, Bob Casey Jr., thank you again for bringing along with Dave McCormick the attention. Yeah, he's a mild-mannered, nice guy in person. He is. But his record on policing, on law and order, et cetera, is appalling.
It's weak, to say the least.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Chris,
it's weak to say the least.
Chris, thank you very much. Anytime. You're welcome to come
Thanks,
in. Thank
Have a great day.
Thank you, Chris.
Be safe.
Look, Dan, I hate to beat the point, but you know what? Even hearing Chris there, I got to beat the point. The death penalty should be doable. We're not going to retreat on the death penalty. And it's not just killing a cop. I get what the argument is. If they'll kill a cop, they'll kill anybody. We should not look at the victim. And that's why I say a big mouth like me. Can you imagine Krasner? No, that ain't happening. Let's give this guy a medal over here.
I was really hoping during the hearings at the Navy Yard that we would see you guys face off in some kind of public forum.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
well,
awesome.
Just the event outside, Dan, and they're lucky I didn't have more time. The sound I brought you from
circus,
that mob, the
yeah.
circus, it was an actual circus of Krasner supporters. It had like a big top and these weirdo clowns and all. And
they had people on stilts.
Yeah, and they started immediately. They started yelling mic check. The one guy was answering me. They yelled mic check, and they all started coming out of the it's that guy. You're the big talker. They love that big talker thing. Bo in Levittown here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Bo, good afternoon.
Hey, Dom. As far as Larry Stolzheimer, I know he's doing a decent job there in Delco, but I just can't trust the Democrat. I'm sorry. He'll go to Harrisburg. He'll fall back in line. He'll say things, about the police. You just can't trust him. He's going to fall in line. In Delco, you got a contingent of Republicans still there, and he's good at playing the game, like Shapiro was. A wolf in sheep's clothing.
I would say, look, Shapiro was always a wolf in wolf's clothing, in my view. But I hear what you're saying, and I don't know this Sunday guy. I do know Craig Williams. I prefer him as Attorney General. You would actually see a lot of action.
Oh, big time. And the death penalty answer was very disheartening to me. And I agree with you 100%. There's no deterrent for drug dealers, for cop killers, or anybody somebody who steals a car and kills you. I mean, come on. And you got it on tape, and let them have the best defense and the best.
Bo, to that point, you're bringing up something I think you were anyhow. That 73-year-old guy who was killed by those 2 or 3 kids with traffic cones and other things. They got out of jail in under 18 months. Nobody knew about it, but a Philadelphia judge released them.
Exactly. Well, the judges too. Let's face it; these Democrat judges in these metropolitan areas, they legislate from the bench, and whatever their viewpoint is what they do. And as far as the squatter thing, that was disheartening too. If it was me and somebody wanted to, not that I would leave a house vacant that long, like one of my rental properties, but if they did, I would sneak there in the night and just do what they
that was the worst
they're doing in California and just live there.
That was the worst answer, saying, well, there's a lot of homeless out there. No. This squatter stuff is ridiculous. Also, who's your character?
My character from my youth, a book that I read and I enjoyed, is Captain Ahab, who is probably the consummate definition of OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, and his pursuit of Moby Dick.
That's pretty good, Dan, that Captain Ahab has OCD. All right, coming up, it is Dan time with Dom, but we'll continue taking your calls. Dan, the weakest answer to me was the squatter thing. I want to hear, you know what, the laws are wrong. Something's going on here. Got to get them out of there.
You think about things like, this idea of squatting when Americans were settling like the Old West, you'd go, you didn't know who owned it. There weren't records. So if people started a community there, then someone came 6 or 7 years later and claimed it was theirs. Well, that was different. It's an adverse possession. It was never intended that you could just go into some subdivision and break into a house and start living there, and then all of a sudden have all these rights vested. In New York, there was a case, and it was reported.
All right, so that's Ron DeSantis, Dan. I'm glad you pulled that. Let me make one final point about DeSantis, then it's Dan time. It's a shame that personality-wise, awkward, plus he's going against Trump, and people want that. This guy actually gets things done. He got it done. He actually got that law passed. Several things he's done just in the last couple of weeks. He actually follows through and gets it done. I want that. I want more of that. I want to graft these two together somehow or another. All right, 855-839-1210. Dom's Money Melody coming up, and Dan Time with Dom coming up right now on Talk Radio 1210.
Now in Florida, you call up, you fill out a form, sheriff comes, and the sheriff kicks them out of your property.
Are you concerned about your child struggling in school? Do they need more of a challenge? Now's the time to make the call to Kathy Ganna and New Hope Academy in Yardley and Doylestown at 800-300-0003. Let New Hope Academy transform your child's life forever by helping them now. For over 3 decades, New Hope Academy founder Kathy Ganna, a pioneering educator and entrepreneur who created the NHA model, has been utilizing state-of-the-art solutions to uncover ways where your child could avoid struggling and succeed. At New Hope Academy, there's a student-teacher ratio of 2 to 1, allowing for students to deal with many disorders, including high anxiety, social, and emotional, and including bipolar. Do not wait. Remember, only the best teachers can work at NHA. Call for a no-obligation tour and consultation. 90% of NHA graduates pursue a college education. Call Kathy today at 800-300-0003. Online, newhopeacademy.net. Call New Hope Academy today.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louis found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louis has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louis.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Get slimmer for the summer by losing a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days with NJ Diet. Call 855-5NJ-DIET or go to NJDiet.com. Get ready for spring with NJDiet.com.
Don't miss Dr. Marianne Ritchie, your radio doctor, Saturday afternoons at 5. Tune in for accurate information so you can make the right medical decisions. Your radio doctor, Dr. Marianne Ritchie, Saturday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Hey, Joe DeCamera here. Stop chasing that rainbow. United Tire and Service has a pot of gold waiting for you. Now through April 2nd, all tires are on sale. Plus, get an extra savings of $80 on any Michelin tires and an instant $40 from United Tire. That's $120 in savings on all Michelin tires. You don't even need to wear green. So skip or drive into St. Patrick's Day savings at one of your 10 locally owned United Tire locations or go to UnitedTire.com. That's UnitedTire.com. Don't drive alone. Drive United.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Free speech lives here. With Don Giordano weekdays noon till 3. Talk Radio 1210. WPHT.
They're running a strange program, y'all.
It's Dan time
I can handle things. I'm smart. Not like everybody says.
with Dom.
That's right. It's that time in the afternoon. Producer Dan takes over the Dom Giordano program for some Dan time with Dom. Quick programming producers note, live tomorrow from the ballpark, Anthony and I will be broadcasting on Citizens Bank Way. So if you're coming out to opening day for the Phillies, come see us. We'll be under the 1210 WPHT tent, and we'll be doing live hits on the Dom Giordano program. Looking forward to speaking to you, Dom, from the ballpark. But some concerning news. I don't know what the heck's going on. I guess this is just another example of trends on TikTok becoming an issue. And Dom, New York City, there's a new trend of women walking down the street and just being punched in the face. Here's Hallie Kate, a TikToker who went viral. Take a listen.
You guys, I was literally just walking and a man came up and punched me in the face. Oh my God, it hurts so bad. I can't even talk. Literally, I fell to the ground and now this giant goose egg is forming and I'm like, oh my God, it looks so crazy.
Her attacker has been caught, and there are others that have posted on TikTok that they've just been randomly punched. And now Bethany Frankel, known as being one of the original cast members of Real Housewives of New York City, came out and said she's recently been attacked, punched her square in the face, a random man in New York City. Dom, what is going on here?
Well, I would tell you the backstory to this, too. The Women's Caucus is being roasted on Twitter, but they're asking, where are the men? To be protective, and people are putting up pictures of Daniel Perry, who intervened in the subway incident, I believe correctly, and he's on trial for all kinds of things, Dan.
Yeah.
No, what's going on is just outright lawlessness with people who are either disturbed or not disturbed, and they're just going to go around punching women in the face, and we all know what should happen to them.
Where's the accountability?
Yeah,
This is what happens. It's just spiraling out of
Alvin
control.
Bragg is too busy resuscitating the Stormy Daniels affair to be bothered with this.
Yeah. If we're talking accountability, though, Bud Light's facing a little bit. They're going to be facing a lack of 15% of their normal shelf space after the backlash regarding Dylan Mulvaney.
Yes, and who was it that told us it's over, Dan? It was Kid Rock, and some others said we've done enough to. Oh, the UFC guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. He's always telling
And
everybody else.
Shane Gillis said.
Yeah. He's telling us now we should stop it with Bud Light.
I mean, the point's kind of been made, though. So what happened here is, I guess, supermarkets and stores, they base their, shelf space based on the previous year's sales and the popularity of products. And because of the decline in sales from Bud Light, the natural progression is that they're losing that shelf space provided for the most popular brands.
Well, people want a full apology. And even then, I don't think they're going to go back. They probably found something else, Dan. Is they canceling them, or did they find something else?
Yeah, I guess it's just moving on to the next thing, or?
I don't think they're still doing it to boycott. I think they found something else that is maybe a little bit pricier, but they like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we saw a surge in, what was it, Modelo? That was the that was surging.
Exactly.
And then finally, Dom, some good news out of New Jersey. A woman survived a very complicated brain surgery. She actually had to remain awake. And the way this new machine works, while she was getting a tumor removed, for the doctor to make sure her speech turns out okay and such, it's something called quicktome connectomics. And she had to be, speaking or something. And what she chose to do, Dom, so the doctors can operate safely while she's conscious on her brain, Dom, she chose to sing songs by Taylor Swift.
Oh, my God. The story of the year. There we go.
The
story of
such
the
a
year.
strong Swiftie,
You can't
Dom.
stop it.
Saving lives now.
Why?
Saving lives, Taylor Swift.
It's like Barbie. She'll have her own doctor's outfit.
That's all I got for Danton today, though, Dom.
All right, 855-839-1210. We have Dom's Money Melody coming up, and it is the 1-year anniversary of the Nashville shooting. I told you this week a court said, release the manifesto. It is one of the most troubling things that can't be done. And a bunch of other stuff, including, thanks to Matt Rooney, wait until you hear this Democrat councilwoman, Paula Gilligan, like Gilligan's Island, what she said about Easter, what Easter is to her. This woman, Dan, is an all-time, oh my goodness. She may have to resign just because of this. It's all straight ahead on Talk Radio 1210.
Guys, good for a weekend. So it's gonna be forever, or it's gonna go down in flames.
Hi, I'm Tom Herr, and this is Susan Herr. We've been with the Crash Proof Retirement System since 2018.
Being with Crash Proof is like being in a big family. We know there's a lot of other people out there just like us, and everyone's very happy.
Yeah, they're not sad.
They're not sad. I mean, we come in and we know our money's safe and it's continuing to grow.
The Crash Proof system is fighting inflation for us. When prices do go up, we still have income coming in. And with the Crash Proof system, we made just under 7%. Even though we're using money, we're still making more money. And at the end, we have more money than we started with.
We have those resources to make our life in retirement much more comfortable.
And we can sleep at night.
Yes, definitely.
Register for the next Crash Proof Retirement Educational Event at Springfield Country Club on April 16th. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
For more expert appliance shopping advice, here's National Appliance Warehouse's own appliance guru.
Hello, let's talk about prices. At National Appliance Warehouse, we have billions in buying power that we leverage in order to pass dramatic savings to our customers. We're passionate about offering the lowest price, so we developed Price Assured to ensure we always are. Price Assured uses powerful technology to scan chain store prices online and make sure ours is lower. Because Price Assured is connected to electronic tags throughout the showroom, it's able to update them instantly if an adjustment is needed. Our customers enjoy great service that rivals that of a small independent while shopping with confidence they're seeing the lowest possible price.
The Friends and Family Savings Event is underway. Upgrade your laundry for less with LG. Get a high-efficiency front-load washer with stackable dryer from LG. Regularly $17.98 for only $13.96. Save over $400. Click nationalappliancewarehouse.com or visit their showroom in tax-free Wilmington today.
Open that window and get a breath of fresh air. This spring, PJ Fitzpatrick has great deals to replace your leaky old windows with beautifully designed, budget-friendly, energy-efficient, American-made windows. PJ Fitzpatrick has a variety of financing packages that work with almost any budget. Plus, PJ Fitzpatrick provides peace of mind with a lifetime guarantee on materials and labor. You can have it all. Visit trustpj.com today for a free design consultation. That's trustpj.com today.
Join the who's who in the Philadelphia basketball community as they honor coaches Phil Martelli and Fran Dunphy at the 20th anniversary American Cancer Society Coaches vs. Cancer Basketball Gala, Saturday, April 13th at the Bellevue. Join Coach Dunphy and Martelli, along with all the Big Five coaches, for the sports event of the year. It's the 20th anniversary Coaches vs. Cancer Basketball Gala, presented by Independence Blue Cross, Saturday, April 13th. Go to phillycvc.org. phillycvc.org.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
It is Dom time. 855-839-1210. So I mentioned the 1-year anniversary, Nashville. Just stunning how you can censor and hold up the manifesto. What are they afraid of? We know exactly what they're afraid of that's in there. Some kind of connection to transgenderism. And that doesn't look good then when you have someone go off and kill people in a Christian school. All right, as I mentioned, the Ivy League notices go out today, meaning you're told you're accepted, you're not. I guess the wait list type of thing. I don't know if they put everybody on a wait list of 1 million or not. And it has become, when I was at WWDB, even Dan, it was not as anti-college then, but we look at the rise in tuition. We look at the indoctrination. We look at the arrogance that's going on with big college. And it seems like we can't do anything about it. Their arrogance is world class. I just told you about Haverford. We played you the guy today at the president of the University of Michigan, shouted down by the mob there because they're all telling us Israel is committing genocide. Okay. It's going to be interesting to see with the Supreme Court ruling, major ruling on this. And the genesis of it was you had Asian American students who were being discriminated against. And we could say all that we want. And I know it's like talk radio common wisdom, and I get it. Well, who cares if you get into the Ivy League or not? It's not a better education, but what it is, it's a piece of paper that's a credential. Considering your career path, it is very, very valuable. For others, not their career path, it's just a waste of a lot of money. Then there's a student loan debt issue and how that's being, quote, forgiven. But it is still a major part of our lives. How in the world did they get away for all those years coming up with one mechanism or another to stop Asian students from getting into prestigious schools? By testing, by what they did, extracurriculars, by what they did in school, they were among the best, way bigger than their numbers, and they don't like it. They came up with one of the all-time just most, this is one of those things, Dan, that you can say that is reprehensible. So it's not one of the words you can't say that's evil and reprehensible. They're called white adjacent. Not only can you say it, you can write it. You can make it a term of art. Imagine being called white adjacent as a just hateful way to attack people who happen to be white, but then bank shot that into attacking Asian students.
What's that even mean?
Well, it means that they should not count as a minority. Yes, it means something like this. When we've had on some of the lawyers, it means that even though you are technically a minority, and I would say a fairly, in many places, tiny minority, right? We're not going to treat you as that. So we're going to come up with a term that says, well, you're not really a minority that has been set upon as have other minorities. Oh, really? Some of the laws in this country toward people that were Chinese, there was widespread laws that expelled them, exclusion acts. They're historical.
They're camps.
Yeah. Yeah. Then the internment camps, FDR did it, so that makes it okay. But that's what's behind this. And it's going to be fascinating. Now, I've seen interviews today, University of Pennsylvania. One of their people saying, well, we don't really know like we used to is the language, their ethnicity, their backgrounds, and all that stuff. Okay? But what would it matter if a college was half Asian American? Why would that matter? It wouldn't matter to me. I don't care if it's 100%. I'm looking to come up with something that is as objective as I can in order to get the best and the brightest. Shouldn't that be the goal? And if they are, I mean, Ivy League basketball teams now are looking for the best and brightest. I don't know football. They're pretty dreadful. They may not be. But isn't that what we do in any other walk of life? They're saying, no, you're getting an inferior education if we don't do bean counting and have people of various diverse backgrounds make up this, what they call a mosaic. And if you had people that were just really smart, dedicated students that are Asian, we can't have that. Alan Dershowitz with me has made the point over the years that used to be done to Jewish students who were overachieving, and they were kept out of the Harvards and the others of the world. So I'll be following this to see now. Are the Ivy Leagues going to still connive and do whatever they want, even with the Supreme Court striking this down? And this is the day that we're starting to see evidence of it one way or the other. So, Dan, if you and Maisie had a little Borowski, would you want him to go to an Ivy League school, all things looking down the road?
Yes.
Okay, I'm glad you answered that.
I'd be proud of the little guy or girl for,
right,
succeeding enough to get there.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what their perceived career path is, if they want to go into something more slash,
let's be honest, if they get any form of intelligence, it's coming from the wife.
Yeah, there you go. Well, you know DJ and Luke a good bit. So with Luke, I would see it would work perfectly. DJ, it doesn't fit into something like that. He makes his own way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His skills are talking, emotional intelligence, talking, and talking some more.
He's a great talker.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I don't talk as much as that. No one does.
Well, you talk 3 hours a day.
Yeah, well, that's true, but not 24. Luke, on the other end, is extremely good across the board, math, sciences, and all that. Could compete with anybody. So that might be more his career
It's
path.
strange. Like I say maybe DJ go the path of like a Connecticut School of Broadcasting. He's a great voice. Luke, I think would be great for the Ivy Leagues.
Yeah.
And then if I had a kid that was, maybe a really good football player, good with his hands, but not good enough to succeed or get a scholarship to college, maybe I'd suggest going down the trades. The trades are a great path. If you're someone that is capable of working with your hands and is a strong individual, male or female, that's a very
here's what I
lucrative
thought,
future.
I thought I'd ask. I wonder how many Ivy League graduates we have listening right now, or their kids are in the Ivy League. 855-839-1210. Or is that something as a conservative now you would hide? I mean, Trump is not only an Ivy League, Dan, the Wharton School.
He still flaunts it.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Somehow or another. Then he attacks them. Yes. He is the Wharton. Now, the Wharton School is different, arguably. It's a business school, and they push back against Penn. I don't know. I don't think I would have fit in an Ivy League. Wasn't that big of an interest then. to do that.
It also matters what they want to do at this Ivy League
Yes.
school. I mean, if they're going to take out, I don't know if I'd be able to afford an Ivy League tuition if it keeps skyrocketing like this. And if they're
Greg
gonna-
Soccer, take note. Dan
Yeah,
needs an
right.
Ivy League tuition here.
Yeah. Got to pay for a kid that I don't have yet.
Exactly. Well, I'll start now. Yes.
But yeah, if they're going to go to Harvard to be an art history major, then no.
Right. Exactly.
There's no way.
It's a credential, though. In certain fields, you got to face it. If you have that credential plus real ability versus just the credential, then
Harvard-educated lawyer.
It's still the way of the world. It is the ticket today. So I'd like to see, and Santorum said this on the show to this point, I'd like to see a Supreme Court justice, if I were Trump in position, let's say he gets to appoint other people. Obviously, you're looking at a lot of factors, but I'm tired of seeing every one of these people going to Yale and Harvard to be the Supreme Court justice. And Dan talked about this guy who drove a cab to pay for himself when he got through University of Pittsburgh, I think it was. And I think he went to some law school like that, but was brilliant. He didn't get picked. Gorsuch did. I love Alito. You know, I was thinking, Dan, of having you contact Sam Alito because he used to come on and predict how many wins the Phillies would get.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, if you just call up the Supreme Court communications there, there was a woman. She would say, all right, I'll get the check. He came on 7 times. There you go. And he would predict the number of Phillies wins. He's the ultimate Supreme Court justice because he's brilliant and he wants to go home at night, watch baseball, and he has a scorebook. He keeps score. Now, I think that's kind of nerdish to be keeping score of the Phillies in a scorebook.
Whatever keeps your mind off the issues, I guess.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
I'm sure it's still percolating.
Yeah.
Hey, one other quick thing before Dom's Money Melody. This woman, Glen Rock councilwoman, Democrat in Jersey, Paula Gilligan, Matt Rooney reports at SaveJersey.com, is facing calls for her resignation. Here's what she posted on her Instagram. Easter eggs are aborted chicken babies that are painted in drag for small children to worship. Oh, my God.
That's a way to look at things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Happy Easter to all of our constituents out
Happy
there.
Easter.
I'll read that one more time because people are putting together all the faux pas here. Easter eggs, aborted chicken babies that are painted in drag for small children to worship. Just another Democrat representative in New Jersey. Let's take a couple, then we'll get Dom's Money Melody. Hit me with that all-time character, Jack in Jersey. Jack, who's your character?
Sherlock Holmes.
All right, tell us.
Basil Rathbone, basically. Sherlock Holmes. I think he's the one. I think. Let me ask you a question. Could my granddaughter, who's 10, but she had to go back to school, could she give you one name?
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely, yeah.
Frankenstein Monster.
Okay.
That's a good one.
We'll put her down for that. Out of school today.
I got one from Jack and one from Jack's daughter.
Okay, very nice. That's what we're looking for. Let me take one more. This is, Dan, he's got another good one today. Here's the man, Joe of Exton on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Joe, good afternoon.
Yes, hello, Dom, and good Thursday afternoon. My exceptional couple are Dagwood and Blondie. Blondie was the consummate wife who would always assist her husband, Dagwood, in getting through the conundrums of daily life and marriage.
Yeah, and he's got a great last name, Dagwood Bumstead. You can't beat that.
Yes.
All right, Joe. Thank you, Joe. Have a nice night. We'll talk tomorrow and on Good Friday.
Or not to correct the guy when he gets the side question wrong.
What's that?
I just never know whether or not to correct.
He said a couple. Yeah, we were just asking for a character, not a couple. That's fine.
It's a great character, though.
Absolutely. We'll put it down. But right now, it is time for...
I'm not on the right screen. Sorry about that.
It's Dom's Money Melody.
Money gone. All right, today we're playing for a pair of tickets to a really big Broadway play coming to Philadelphia, Hadestown, on April 10th, 2024, Academy of Music in Philadelphia. For tickets and more information, visit ensembleartsphilly.org. Okay, Dan.
You want to add another layer to the Money Melody, Dom? I got one for you. Today, well, couple times this week, because we're giving away tickets to a Broadway play, we've referenced musicals. And Dom, I have a very famous song from a musical. This time sung in a different language, but I'm going to tell you the language. I'll tell you the language. Or do you want to know the language, or should we know the musical? I'll make it easier. Let's make it a speed contest today. I want to know the name of the musical that this song sung in Czech. Comes from, originally sung in English. But Dom, we want to know the name of the musical that this cover comes from. Take a listen.
Zdá se mi o městě San Juan, ve snu I vagabund je pán. Sto pětů vidět je tam kles, toplínku pod nohy se ples.
All right, hit us with that, and you are off to Hades down at the Academy of Music. Here's how you do it: 855-839-1210, AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All you have to do is just push pound 1210.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, an XC40 can be leased for as low as $459 and an XC90 leased for as low as $629. Interest rates are as low as 4%. Along with Volvo-sponsored incentives, the Cherry Hill Volvo offers are very aggressive. When purchasing or leasing a new Cherry Hill Volvo, special additional incentives will be given. Spring into Cherry Hill Volvo now for these incredibly fabulous offers.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at renofi.com/notices. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out.
John, I'm putting my foot down. We can't put off renovating this house any longer. Our kitchen is so small. We need to finish the basement for the kids, and don't even get me started on the bathrooms.
Honey, renovating is so expensive. We can't do all those projects.
With Renofi, we can.
What's Renofi?
Renofi loans are a new type of home equity loan only for homeowners doing renovations. We can get up to $500,000 and keep our existing low mortgage rate locked in.
With Renofi, we can do everything on our renovation list and we don't have to refinance?
That's right. Renofi loans are the only home equity loan that use the after renovation value.
Just what we need. How do we get started with Renofi?
Just send them a text.
Text BASEMENT to 323232 and see if you qualify for up to $500,000 to renovate your home with Renofi. Unlock the future value of your home right now to get the money you need without refinancing. Text the word BASEMENT to 323232 to get started today. Text BASEMENT to 323232.
NMLS number 1802847. Not all borrowers or properties qualify. Loan terms apply.
Hey, it's Jim Costa from Cash the Ticket. Tourney time is here. Mike Valeni and I are going through every matchup of the big dance over on the podcast. We're talking sides, totals, mix in a reckless parlay every now and then. Come on, it's fun. We've got tourney trends, futures plays, who wins the national title, something for every bettor and every sports fan. Region by region, game by game, however you want to digest it, it's there. Download Cash the Ticket today. It's on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Visit 1210WPHT.com/contests for your chance to win a family 4-pack of Fandango movie tickets to see Godzilla, Kong, The New Empire, and a gift pack that includes t-shirts and figurines. 1210WPHT.com/contests.
It's the Money Melody.
Show me the money. All right, that's right. We're playing for 2 tickets to a hit Broadway musical. Dan, let's hear the clue.
Yeah, playing for those tickets to Hadestown, Dom. But today we're looking for the name of another musical. This time we're playing a song from that musical, but sung in Czech. So I'm going to play back a little bit of that song, about 10 seconds here, and I want to know if a listener can tell us what musical that this comes from, originally sung in English in the musical. Take a listen, Dom.
Zdá se mi o městě San Juan, ve snu I taka bunt je pán. 100 květů vidíte tam kves, 100 plinků pod nohy se ples.
All right, let's go to Evelyn out there in Bucks County. Evelyn, good afternoon. What's the musical?
Good afternoon. It's West Side Story.
All righty. Yes, Dan got one of the versions of it in Czech. It's been in Spanish, but you are exactly right, Evelyn. I'll put you on hold. Enjoy Hadestown. Nicely played. All right, 855-839-1210. Dan, we helped to take some credit here, helped to launch him, but was brilliant all the time when I first met him at the University of Penn. But Chris Tremaglia, who's broken several stories, including the one of the Penn female swimmers who talked to him about Leah Thomas when Leah Thomas was there, just wrote me asking for credentials to the Rand Paul event. Press credentials. Wow.
Hey.
I mean, we got press credentials. We got Rand Paul on April 11th, and we have beer, wine, and cocktails for politics and pints. And also, we need a P word there for credential for coverage of the media. Yeah, press. There you go.
Politics,
pints, and press. So I have to say, our staff will get right on that, Dan, meaning you'll tell them what to do. And I think, Dan, what we give Chris is a big hat that says, remember they used to put it at the brim of the hat that says press.
Yeah, I think we should.
Well, make him part of the show because he is, a guy that's recognized nationally.
We can point
now.
to him and blame him every time we want to talk about the media,
Exactly. Just ask him the question to get in. Do you want to ban TikTok? If he says no, I might not be able to do that.
I can't wait for this event. It's gonna be awesome.
The debate with Rand Paul. I'm already, taken to the mattresses on that. I had my hair cut 2 weeks in advance yesterday, especially.
I feel like we need a training montage, like Russian, Rocky montage.
Exactly, because Rand Paul's tough, and we agree on almost everything. And he's going to be our special guest. His book, Deception, The Great COVID Cover-Up. What was it like in the clinches there with Dr. Fauci when he took him on in the Senate many times? Brand new speaker series, our first since COVID shut us down. And the new change, we've added the cash bar with beer, wine, and cocktails. Going to be a great time prior to interview with Rand Paul. I'm sure will join us. Here's how you get your tickets. Go to 1210WPHT.com, 1210WPHT.com. As you can tell, I mean, Chris coming out there because it's noteworthy having Rand Paul, particularly, it's not over. I mean, he thinks Fauci has to be dealt with, and we'll get to what that means in some way, shape, or form. And it's not over with COVID. I told you today, the LCB, these people that run the liquor stores, which they shouldn't, they're going after bars when they come up for a license renewal. If the bars defied them, they think during COVID. One bar had the misfortune of providing electricity. They let them plug in to a band that was doing a benefit for a firehouse, and they're going after them. So this COVID
Not
stuff.
the firemen.
Yeah, exactly. This COVID stuff does not end. We hope to hear what Rand Paul thinks should be done next to kind of blunt some of this. All right, so 1210WPHT.com. That's where you get your tickets. We'll see what happens with these accept, not accept with the University of Pennsylvania. But we led off the show today. And, I can't say that Jack's Stolzheimer that we had on, candidate for Attorney General in Pennsylvania, gave a great or not great answer on it. But I asked him about so-called election interference, election integrity. Yesterday and this morning, too, I got a lot of stuff from Wally Zimbalong on Twitter and Linda Kearns, both just two of our best to bring you, because this is still the remaining issue, particularly with mail-in ballots. A lower court, the district court yesterday, they said that in Pennsylvania, you don't have a right to submit your ballot and not date it. If you messed up, you messed up. The legislature, you cannot nationalize this. That's what the plaintiffs, the ACLU, NAACP, tried to do. They tried to say, no, that vote should count. It's unnecessary to have the date on it. And the court said, as long as the legislature is not disqualifying the voter because of race and all these protected classes, they're disqualifying the vote. They, the legislature, get to call the tune. Now, this is big because you can pivot from this to make arguments on a lot of these things that are going to come up. Will these legislators, though, will they take the ball and run with it, or are they going to back away again? Because Democrats are not going to back away. The Secretary of State, they're the people that run the election infrastructure, Al Schmidt. Dan, take a note. Never have that guy at my Seven Fishes dinner again.
Yeah,
he was invited the one time there.
Yeah,
I didn't know him so well. And he was with the plaintiffs. Here's the guy that's supposed to be representing the government. He's with the plaintiffs on this, and he got knocked down. What this comes down to is this. Are they going to push Biden across the finish line in Pennsylvania, and then people are going to cry the day afterward? It's going to be a morgue here. Or are we going to take back Pennsylvania this time? And we're giving you all the options, all the things. We've just this week talked about several of them that you can do, that we can do to push back against this. But the Trump campaign has to do a better job of being on the ground here. It can't be just Scott Presler. Presler, I told you, is out there encouraging Jill Stein to give him her petitions and Cornel West, and then he'll get it done. He'll get the signatures. Why is he doing that? If they're in there, they're both going to get a half point. That's a point. That's all that you need. This is small ball. You know, magically, you're not going to win the election now on election day. Everybody shows up. Oh, my God, look at the lines at the polls. If you're down 1.2 or 1.3 million votes because of mail-in balloting, you're not going to win on election day. Why is this so difficult to comprehend? Now, Laura Trump did an interview, Dan, and I commend her for this, with NBC News. And in that, she did her best to say that in conversations with Trump, he's coming around on some of the things that she's been talking about. I mean, to me, Laura Trump has been outstanding in this. And she knows going on with this NBC type, there's going to be difficulty, but she's taken one for the team. She did it to face this down, and she did answer about Trump. Trump's got to stop getting wound up at rallies. At rallies, if he thinks the audience's attention is wavering, he starts to say things that some of them want to hear. And I'm telling you, you're crazy if you want to hear, we're going to show up so much on election day, it'll be too big to rig, and handing out those things. Stop it already. Why in the world do you want to just lose? Does it feel good? Meanwhile, Biden's yesterday opened 14 campaign offices across Pennsylvania. Grassroots, they're out there doing this. It's doable, but you're not going to win by grandiose things that you're saying. It's the small ball of it. It's the details. All right, 855-839-1210. You get in. Let's go to, Lori, I didn't know that she had two kids, Dan, that went to Ivy League schools. All right, let's go to Lori
It doesn't surprise me.
Ringos.
She's probably a
Yeah,
fantastic
on Talk
parent.
Radio 1210. Hey, Lori, good for you, but were you kind of conflicted on that?
Yeah, I went to Georgetown, and I am now ashamed of that, because they've become so woke. But back in the day,
Hey, well, wait a
that
minute.
was
I went to LaSalle, and I've attacked them mercilessly for what they said on October 7th. Nobody gets – you imagine the weightlifting club saying they stand with Hamas. Give me a break.
Yeah, crazy. But I am conflicted about it, particularly because of all the stuff that went down with Penn with Liz McGill. But, you know, it was going on before that. They were just as woke before her short tenure there. The previous president ended up, you know, working as an ambassador to Germany for Biden. You know, so there's a lot of games and shenanigans. But really, I have to say, it is on this acceptance day. I mean, you have to work your, you know what, off and basically be a really well-rounded person, not one-dimensional. And I am so proud of all three of my children, but for the two, one graduated from there and one is just about halfway through.
Well, Lori, what was it like, though, when you were waiting for the envelope and it comes up? Is it true if it's a thick envelope you're in?
It's all online now, Dom. And I have to tell you, like, so if you get in, it's like confetti pops up and it says congratulations. And if you don't, it's like just a black and white letter that says, you know, so in a lot of cases now, because so many kids are snowflakes, they say they wait, like Georgetown virtually waitlists everybody now. They don't decline many people because they don't want people going out and harming themselves.
Yeah, you know what, Lori, they say you were it's like George Costanza. You were a solid C student in school. You did miserably on the SATs. You're on the wait list, though, kid. Never know.
Right. Yes. And I do want to say, my daughter, the older one, she called your show and she was like, I called. And she got on the phone and recited 50 digits of pi to you when she was like 7 or 8 years old.
You should have put that on the resume. That would have put her to the top of the class.
That's right. She went to 10 and she's working at CHOP now and a gap year and was accepted to medical school and will be starting medical school in July.
Well, let me know. We always need good doctors. Dan's the one that needs it
I
here.
love that
So
your
have
kids
that
are so successful at their gap years working at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia.
Yeah, there you go.
Usually people go backpack through Europe, but you got your kids, you know, already working in the medical profession.
Lori, I think you have a great fictional character because it reminds me of you since we met and I know you a bit.
Yeah, I feel that I'm this woman every day. It is Frankie Heck, played by Patricia Heaton, in the middle.
Yes, beautifully put. Dan, I don't know if you know that character. Lori fits that beautifully. That's a great character. Ro has some of the character. Ro loved that too. Patricia Heaton, how could you not? Great actress. I think a little bit stunted by Hollywood because of reviews on Life and things of that nature. She ought to be in a lot more stuff. That was a really interesting family, the Heck family. All right, 855-839-1210. You can get on board. So why did I think they still send it by mail? That takes away all the thrill, Dan, of seeing the letter, seeing it come in that mail slot, right? Online's not fitting enough for this.
Well, you don't like the little bloop of your email popping up with a
I like
PDF attachment?
No, I think, right. I think this is more the in the mail thing is better.
Then you can't open the PDF. And you gotta,
oh my God! And can you imagine, Dan, the wait list? Put everybody on the wait list. Just tell them you're on the wait list. You never know what might happen, kid.
Well, it's everybody gets a trophy, right?
Dan, on a day of acceptance like this, I don't do mine till later in the year. Dom Giordano University is much wanted to be in that.
What's the leading major this year at Dom Giordano University?
Bloviating.
Oh, it's still bloviating.
It's still bloviating.
Okay.
Yes, of course, the bloviating.
Gotcha. I didn't know the 40-yard football throwing past it.
No, that's in there. That's that's still a mandatory course. That's
like
the physical fitness. Yes. And attacking every progressive alive is in there. Definitely. 855-839.
Mail-in balloting 101?
Mail-in balloting is in there. Scott Presler is the
great professor.
He is the chair of that department of mail-in balloting. 855. Now, Laura Trump, Dan, has really come into her own here. I mean, she walks a tight line. She can't offend Trump by saying all that she does, but she's dropping breadcrumbs there all over the place.
Donald Trump has talked about the idea of maybe a 15 or a 16-week ban recently. He seems to be kind of kicking around that idea. Would you advise him to stay out of this issue from a federal perspective?
I think if you asked him now, I think he would say he agrees with allowing the states to decide.
Keep that, Dan. Yeah, I think that was with NBC, was it not?
Yep.
Wow, she did an interview with NBC. That's taking one for the team because she knows they're antagonistic. You know what I mean? And yet still went in there and did it. She's been a star in this. And that answer there is Trump's got to calm down at rallies. Don't start saying there's a sweet spot. There's no sweet spot on federal ban on abortion. There's no sweet spot. If you go around saying that, it's going to hurt you big time. All right, more calls coming up. You've been hearing me talk about Rescue Supplements for years. Well, Rescue Natural Supplements has launched a free personalized health survey that prioritizes all of your health goals. Whether you've been taking Rescue products for years or don't know where to start, in just 5 minutes, discover tailored Rescue supplements that fill the gaps in your nutritional needs. That means no more guessing on products at the store or ignoring the issues altogether. And the best part right now, you get a whopping 50% off recommended products after completing the survey. To get started, go to res-q.life, res-q.life, or call them at 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Get help from a knowledgeable rescue product consultant. I took the short survey, and let me tell you, I was blown away to see my results. So don't wait. Visit res-q.life. Get 50% off recommended products. Do it today.
An area of low pressure will continue to move off the East Coast today. Still some rain at times, especially south and east of Philadelphia with a high 52. For tonight, drying out, turning windy and colder with a low 38. And for Friday, plenty of sunshine and windy with a high 58.
Spring cleaning is upon us, but there's one meaningful box that you don't throw away when cleaning out your closet. It's the box filled with your family's important videotapes, film reels, and photos. Hi, I'm Adam Baselogger.
And I'm Nick Mako. We started Legacy Box over a decade ago to help families organize and update their analog media to digital.
Legacy Box is simple and easy. It works and is safe. Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box.
And Legacy Box has been featured in Good Housekeeping, The Today Show, and Rachel Ray.
Legacy Box is like magic, converting your shoebox of memories to the cloud or thumb drive, ready to watch and share.
Declutter your closet by digitizing your media. Become more organized and accomplished, knowing your family's recorded past is safe forever. Take advantage of our spring cleaning sale going on now. It's the easiest task to check off your to-do list.
For a limited time, you can get started for just $9 a tape. Visit legacybox.com/value to get our $9 sale. That's legacybox.com/value to get our $9 offer. legacybox.com/value.
With so much uncertainty in the world today, you may find yourself wondering, is now even the right time to retire?
So many people are waiting, and those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
Fortunately, Jim Cipriotti has been helping get people to, through, and beyond retirement for over 25 years. Each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Dawn here. Are you looking to improve the health of your lawn? Look no further. Natural Lawn of America has been creating green, lush lawns quickly, more naturally, and with fewer weeds for more than 35 years. Their certified specialists tailor their treatments to your lawn-specific needs, reducing the need for chemicals and creating a safer lawn for your entire family. Call today. Take advantage of Natural Lawn's limited time offer. Free seeding every year. 800-FREE-SEED or naturallawn.com. Greener grass, fewer weeds. Guaranteed.
This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. You may know me from my book, Money Hacks. You may know me from my radio shows, and you may even know me from some of these commercials. But listen, I'm teaching stuff that people need to learn about money. In fact, my favorite topic is money. So go to investorschooling.com and you will learn things about money that you never even knew existed. We will teach you things about real estate, about the stock market, and about how to use your IRAs properly. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Are you tired of hearing about the recession that's coming? Are you prepared for it? Well, listen, at investorschooling.com, we're going to teach you ways to prepare for the recession that you didn't even know existed. We're going to teach you strategies on how to use real estate. We're going to teach you strategies how to use the stock market properly. That's right. You could even make money in the stock market when the stock market goes down. Hey, go to investorschooling.com and register for a free class this Thursday night, and you will learn all of these techniques. Go to investorschooling.com right now, RSVP for this Thursday. We'll see you there.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code EARN for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill up. That's promo code EARN.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
Dom Giordano Show. You got to give it to Fox News. They have a split screen going on of the funeral home for the wake of Officer Diller, who was killed by a criminal in New York in just the last couple of days. And then the other side of it is the Biden fundraiser in New York City. President Biden going to be there with the other two presidents. Imagine those two guys going, oh, man, what are we going to talk to Biden about? What do you think he might understand? How are we going to get through this, Dan? And I don't know that Obama and Clinton, there's all kinds of bad blood there, so they're not exactly.
Well, I feel like Biden and Clinton can bond over Velcro shoes.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like they both wear them, right?
Yeah.
Obama's going to be left out of the conversation, though.
Yeah.
Don't know if he owns any Velcro shoes.
And Mrs. O.
Not that there's anything wrong with them.
Mrs. O is not there. That might be another signal she's running. But Dr. Jill Biden will be bringing down the house with the after party tonight. And I think the real star, the three presidents there, is one Stephen Colbert. He'll be the moderator.
How do you think Hillary's feeling going into this?
I don't know that she's going to it.
No, you don't think so?
Nah.
But all these headlines of three presidents, and she's probably thinking to herself, I really should be that third one.
Well, she should versus Biden. That would be a better choice. I mean, we've said that.
I am a real person with.
Yeah, let's go to Leslie in Bryn Mawr on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Leslie, welcome in.
Aloha. How
Aloha.
are you?
Very good. Thank you for that squatting question. It didn't really work with Jack Stolzheimer today too well, but
yeah, I was very surprised. That kind of just like he was not prepared for that.
Well, he started with the homeless, which was kind of a giveaway. Here, you would think every politician would be prepared and say, oh, no, we're going to stop this like DeSantis did in Florida.
Absolutely. And it is a major problem. I actually think I have a real simple solution that if a lot of people, have homes in other areas at the shore, they go for the summer, or people go to Florida in the winter. Just go to the township, register my property at whatever the property address is. I am out of town. I have not rented by either verbal or contract or handshake my home, so that when they get back, if there's somebody's in their home, because that's the biggest issue, is trying to remove them.
Yeah, and Leslie, I would recommend
possession's 9/10.
Right. I will put them on if one of these shore communities, say, for example, or Poconos, they're preactive and they send a message out. We know who these people are, who owns the home and all. We're checking on this. We're not going to put up with this. You can rest assured in North Wildwood or Mayor Pete in Wildwood, we are going to stop this. We're going to use the full pursuit of the law immediately to stop this nonsense.
However, the law is not in the homeowner's favor as it stands today.
Well, I'm reading here, one of their techniques is to send in a home inspector, and they got to let you in. If not, the police can get in there. And then when the home inspector gets in there, then apparently, Leslie, I just read today, there are some things that person might be able to do to help get them out.
Okay. Well, but there's, right now, there is no protection for the homeowner. So, and given the invasion of the southern border and TikTok telling people how to do this,
right?
I think it's really going to progress fast and become a very big issue.
Yeah, I would encourage people to do what you said. That's a good tip. Make a call. I think you can do it by calling. Tell them who you are. Tell them what your concern is in the town. And get that on the record and say, when you come down, you're going to go and see. I hate to put another headache on people, but the bigger headache is to have some clowns in your residence.
Yeah. Can you imagine? I just can't, think about the people that go to Florida for the winter and they come home and there's somebody in their house and they're not allowed to get back in their home.
Well, Leslie, I will tell you this. I won't say the name. I think I've told Dan the name. Dan, you know who it is. I have a guy I would text immediately who's a cop, but not on active duty now. That's where I would go and say to him,
Yeah.
what are we going to do here? And I'm telling you, he would say, here's what we're going to do.
I actually, my brother many years ago bought a home in foreclosure at a sheriff's auction. The owner refused to get out of the house.
Wow.
And it took him months to get him out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Months.
Leslie, who's
So,
your
you know,
character? Who's your
it's not
fictional
a quick
character?
fix. Well, quickly, I also have you should be politics, pints, and pundits as your third team.
Let's put that in there. Pundits. We're pundits. Is Dan a pundit? Or is he a
Sometimes.
pun? He's a pun.
Be kind, Leslie. Be kind.
He's a pun.
I'm a dit.
So Leslie, are you going to help me
it
out?
depends.
You're going to be in the green room with Rand Paul, Johnny Z, and Beth Campion. Are you going to help me out on the TikTok to loosen them up a little bit, or what?
Well, I disagree with you on
Oh, that's it. Oh, Dan, my God, treachery.
I think it's a slippery slope to give the government that kind of
slippery
power.
slope argument. I got to be ready for that. Okay, Dan, more drinks for Leslie that night.
Yeah,
Give her a
right?
few more drinks. Calm her down.
Leslie, what are you going to be drinking?
I'm usually a Chardonnay person, but we'll see. Could maybe a Cosmo.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right. Give us your character, Leslie.
It's Dracula.
That's a great one.
The whole vampire zombie genre is because of Dracula. He's been demonized, humanized, and romanticized.
Oh, well put. I like it, Dan. I like it.
yeah.
Very good. Tom of Rosemont, must be no soccer matches today, and legal stuff is shut down here on Holy Thursday. Tom, welcome in. Happy holidays to you. Who do you have today, Tom?
Thank you very much. Now, as Ronald Reagan said, trust but verify. So my fictional character is Joe of Exton. there is no way that there is a man sitting in a salon wearing a beret and a smoking jacket while reading comics from the 1940s and listening to opera. It's impossible, Dom. He has to be seen in his environment.
We're trying to get him out there. I'm telling you, if he'd come to the Rand Paul event, we'd have to knock down walls and put in more seats.
He fascinates me. I want to know more about him.
Exactly. He's got to send some photos.
Tom, in Exton, come on, civilization ends as far west as Malvern. There's no way it's going on out in Exton.
I would agree. No offense to Exton. We're probably, Dan, check the ratings. How are we in Exton? All right. So final hitters coming up here. It's the lightning round. All-time fictional character. I like that, Dan. Politics, pints, and pundits. We can add that to it rather than press. We know there's going to be media there. It's Rand Paul. And Dan, they're turning on me, and you're leading the mob behind the scenes.
I'm not leading any mob. I'm just hopping off the boat.
Thing.
You know,
I mean, I
don't want to get Mr. Paul or Senator Paul mad at me.
I love Rand Paul on every other issue. I got to say, when he's wrong on it, though, he's wrong. I can't go in the tank here. I'm not going to be like you. You were on my side. He's coming to town April 11th at the Zlock Performing Arts Center. Great spot. Yes. You'll love it, with a great bar. Cash bar, beer, wine, cocktails available. It's speaker series with a bar. Get your tickets now. We'll talk Dr. Fauci, the book, Deception, the Great COVID Cover-Up. Tickets at 1210wpht.com.
Hear the truths in person. Come out.
Yes.
People are paying $100,000 to go see three presidents lie to them.
See, Rand Paul goes down, I'm saying, in round 3 on TikTok, or shot 3 on TikTok.
Are you going shot for shot with Rand Paul?
That's right. He goes down in shot 3 on TikTok. He'll be saying, yes, I see the wisdom.
So any argumental inconsistency, there's a shot?
Yes, exactly right.
I love it.
1210wpht.com. Get those tickets and come out. Let's talk about Captain Chucky's for a moment here, though. The Joe of Exton music has got me.
It's great.
Easter, right around the corner this Sunday. Call Captain Chucky's now. Do not wait. Get that holiday table all set up. Here is Captain Chucky. Get those orders in now. And don't forget, you got to try it. And try it with your guests. Order that brand new Bang Bang Jumbo Lump Crab Cake, a delicious, creamy 5-ounce jumbo lump breaded crab cake with a kick for those who like to spice it up. Check your store for availability. And this is the perfect time really to check out all of Captain Chucky's offerings. Delicious stuffed mushrooms, various salads, tremendous variety of homemade sides, desserts. You'll save a lot of time and agita. Let them help you plan all this. Captain Chucky's, too, has several choices of breaded, non-breaded crab cakes, literally a crab cake for everybody. Desserts, soup, sides, appetizers. They only use the highest quality ingredients. Their Gulf shrimp, a huge hit. It's always wild caught, never farm raised. My favorite, too, those Dom rolls. Go to the website now, then get to that Captain Chucky's today. Put in your order. WeLoveCrabCakes.com. WeLoveCrabCakes.com.
Hey, it's Nick. Join me on the first Wednesday morning of every month for 1210 WPHT's Veteran Spotlight, a program where we shine a spotlight on one outstanding local veteran in partnership with the Travis Manion Foundation, celebrating their remarkable commitment to community service and their exceptional service in the military. This week, we are honoring Josh Jabin, United States Marine Corps vet, and his contribution to the veteran community. Presented by Window Nation. For all of your window and door needs, visit windownation.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth, and if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
If you want jazz music, go to New Orleans. Bagels, New York. And for psychics, think California Psychics. You want the best, you go to the best. At California Psychics, home of free spirits and open minds, we know better than anyone what makes a good psychic. That's why we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
You've heard it said, he's a diamond in the rough. Or maybe, diamonds are forever. Here's something else I've learned about diamonds. They're just pieces of coal put under pressure for a long, long, long time. So when I start feeling like I want to give up, I think about that little piece of coal. And if that piece of coal can make something of itself by not giving up, so can I. Persistence is in you.
Pass it on.
From PassItOn.com.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
All right, be ready. Hit us with that all-time fictional character, Robert in Ben Salem. Robert, afternoon. What do you have?
Hey, Dom, Dan, it's good to talk to you guys, and I'll be quick. I'll save my advice to Dan about raising kids for next time. But my fictional character is Michael Corleone, and the reason why I pick him is because I like complicated characters, and I figure that if you think that you need to kill your brother to protect your family, you're a complicated character.
Mike,
and the whole thing.
you don't
was
come to
great.
Las Vegas
You know
and
what I
talk
mean?
to a man like
Absolutely.
But he was my favorite character. You guys have a great day.
Thank you very much. I don't find him to be believable, Dan, and I know every nuance of Godfather, but he is cold.
Don't tell me you're innocent.
Yeah.
Because it insults my intelligence. It makes me very angry.
Bill in Bucks County. Bill, who's yours?
Quite simple. Bond. James Bond.
Oh, that's a great one.
That's a great
that's
one.
Huge.
But there's only one difficulty with that. There's only one Bond, right?
Yeah, but the fictional character is the one that persists.
No,
right?
but I mean, there's only one person that should be allowed to play
Pierce
James
Brosnan.
Bond. Yeah. No, Pierce. Sean Connery. It's like Sinatra singing it, and then suddenly Pierce Brosnan is in there. He just ruined the whole Bond thing. And the current Bond, not
Pierce
even
Brosnan
close.
is Bond. Come on.
No. What's the name had a better toupee in that? Let's try one more. I think they're telling me I have time for. Let's go to the Earl of Tacony. Earl, who do you have?
Not my favorite character, but very complex. From Star Trek The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine, Worf, son of Moog. Born to a prominent Klingon family, parents killed by Romulans and orphaned, raised by humans, found his long-lost brother, accepted by his people, rejected by his people to protect the Empire, aids their political leader, reaccepted by his people, then rejected again, aids their greatest religious leader, kills the political leader, offered the job of chancellor, turns it down to give it to his mentor, not to mention they murder the mother of his son, he finds another woman, marries her, and they murder her.
Earl, do you know Klingon?
Yeah. Can you speak it? Yes.
I don't speak Klingon, no. I'm a fan, but I'm not a fanboy.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for that distinction. All right.
He
It
uses all
was.
that and says he's not a fan.
Oh,
Come on,
my
okay.
goodness. All right, Dan. I don't know. They were tough today, but we got a few contenders that we think really stood out.
Really, one standout in my is Leslie and Bryn Mawr. She had Dracula. In quote, she says he's been demonized, fantasized, and romanticized through the eras,
Right.
spurning an entire genre of vampire kind of media and horror. I think that's a great answer.
Yeah, if it's the satellites of Dracula continuing on, that is
James Bond's a good answer too, though.
Yeah, except for Pierce Bronson. Oh God.
All right, go Leslie.
We'll go with Leslie.
All right.
Put Leslie into the hat. We'll have the finale tomorrow. We'll get a winner, and you're off to Captain Chucky's. By the way, don't forget to come and meet Rand Paul with me in the big debate, among other things. 1210WPHT.com to get your tickets. Rich is next. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
In these unusual economic times, do you wonder what to do with your money? If you have questions about retirement planning, IRAs, 401ks, tax planning, or any